Ladies and gentlemen, doggies everywhere, get prepared, get lined up. Do not cut the line, stay in line. Get your snacks, get your drinks, get ready, and be prepared for tonight's live. We have a lot to talk about. Hey, kid, no cutting. Oh, yeah. Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights. Ladies and gentlemen, doggies from every studio in every corner of the galaxy. I want to yell and say what's up, but we just finished eating and I had a whole bowl of pasta. So I'm very weighed down right now. So get ready for Heartburn City tonight. That is coming up later on. Anyways,
goodness.
How are you guys doing on a Thursday evening? We have a fun live stream tonight.
We have a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. Yeah, so we were just in the studio 2 days ago. We had a live stream this past Tuesday. So 2 days ago, we discussed an announcement that happened on Monday, an announcement that happened that Tuesday, and a show announcement from last week. And during that live stream, we said, hey, guess what? We're going to do a live stream again this Thursday because we were anticipating some announcements. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, we have more announcements. So today we're going to be talking about some things, but before we do get into that, I want to know how you guys are doing, how you guys are feeling, because there's going to be a lot of feels in the chat for today, a lot of discussions that happen. Where are we visiting from? Where are we watching from? No one's visiting. No one should be here right now. Where are you guys watching from? Where are we tuning in from? You guys know we like to start live streams with that. Go ahead and type in the chat where you guys are tuning in from tonight, as well as I'm throwing this over to Stephanie. Again, last minute. Do you have a question of the day for the chat?
I actually did think of one.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So in tonight's live stream, what we have to discuss is we're going to start off with a question of the day. We're going to get into that. And then after the question of the day, we have three main topics that we're going to discuss as our main headliners for tonight's discussion. First one being Stranger Things. I don't know if I want to call it Stranger Things or just the Lagoon Show. I guess the Lagoon Show, which is Stranger Things. But we're talking the Lagoon Show. We got an announcement yesterday for the Lagoon Show. Second topic is an announcement we got today, which is Killer Clowns. They're going to be making an appearance at the event in some fashion. We'll talk about that. And then after that, the main topic of today, the big one, which we think is going to take the longest, which is why it's last. Freaking A. That's how I feel about this. Frequent Fear Passes no longer include an option to have an express pass along with that ticket. That's going to be the main one. We're going to talk about that later. That's the third part of the conversation. And then we'll probably wrap it up with a rapid fire Q&A and then go to bed. Today, I worked on the yard today and it kicks my butt. It's so hot in Florida. Just sweating. You can see Nico's tired. He worked on the yard today too, right?
He's eating the grass.
Yeah, eating the grass.
He does that.
They help out, they help. But anyways, it's gonna be a fun live stream. I'm gonna say that. And before we kind of get into those discussions, I'm gonna start off by saying this, and I'll probably say it too when we get into the whole Express Pass fiasco going on. I'm gonna be respectful to you. You can be respectful to me. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be respectful to you guys. You guys need to be respectful with each other and us, because I've seen a lot of division about this. I've seen a lot of discourse going on, debates and everything. And I'm all for a good conversation, a good debate for X, Y, Z, whatever it may be, as long as everyone's respectful. We all love the event. We want the best for the event. We want the best for us to experience. So I just want to put that out there. I'll make a mention of it again when we get into that conversation, because we're going to present as much as we can with it for both sides of the argument, everything that we can. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say as well about the topic. So we'll get in that when we get there. But let's just remember, stay respectful with each other. But I'm all down for the debate. So with that being said, let's see where everyone's tuning in from. We got Pennsylvania, Winter Haven, Florida, Kissimmee, Alaska. I love Alaska. We're in Alaska, by the way. I feel like I've asked this before.
Probably.
Christ Castles and Coffee. We've been to Fairbanks, and that was like one of the best trips we've ever taken. Alaska's awesome. Orlando. Chris Does Things is in Orlando. That's dangerous.
Is that real?
I hope not. Idaho, Oaktown, Oklahoma, right up the street, Davenport. Nice. Kansas City. Somebody just said, I'm here. Southridge. They're in the walls again. Orlando. Yeah, see, we are in Fairbanks for work right now. Oh, sweet.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Fairbanks is great. We love Fairbanks.
Well, that's the only place in Alaska we've been, but we liked it.
Still love it. We also got Arkansas, Cary, Ohio, and yeah, Southridge is in the walls. Gotta love it. So, Steph, I believe you have a question of the day for the chat and for everybody today. So, question of the day, starting off here with Steph.
All right, keeping it lighthearted and
I like that.
Somewhat relevant to today's conversation. Based on the Killer Clowns announcement, if you had to pick one IP to have roaming characters, what IP that we've seen previously would you pick?
Oh, that we've seen previously.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Other than Killer Clowns.
Okay. So, an IP we've seen previously at the event take the
Their
place,
characters,
or just be roaming characters of that IP. It's a good question, chat. What do you think? What do we
or
got?
even a street. Cowfish.
Yeah, Cowfish. Also, Sweet Home Alabama. Thanks, Mom.
13 Ghosts. We need to
We
get
haven't
House
had
of
13
that
Ghosts yet. Yeah.
first, though.
Though
Yeah.
13 Ghosts would be cool.
Did you think of one?
One that we've already seen. I keep wanting to say Game of Thrones, but we have not seen that at the event. Like the White Walkers, like roaming around, or even like the if you get into like Game of Thrones lore, like you can go all the way to like Ashai and like have all those like stuff. But
We haven't had that before.
yeah, so I can't pick that.
Ghostbusters. Some people are saying
Ghostbusters could be cool.
that could be cool.
That could be cool.
Especially, I mean, that would have been really cool for the 80s years to have them like roaming around the park.
That's true.
Alien versus Predator. That would be cool.
We mentioned, I think I mentioned that earlier today when we were just talking about Fortnite. And it's like, well, if they have xenomorphs,
Yeah.
like Xenomorph could be really cool seeing a scare zone.
American Werewolf in London. Ooh, that would be cool.
That'd be cool. If they can make the werewolves really big.
They'd just be like, is it Eddie from
Pretty much.
the horror
from-
makeup show?
Yeah, the horror makeup show. Just have Eddie roaming the streets. Honestly, I don't know why, like, the one that's kind of popping in my mind is like American Horror Story. Kind of jumps in my mind for some reason. Just
I could
because
see that.
I'm looking for a collection of characters.
What about Halloween, but it's just like a bunch of Michael Myers?
See, like, that's why I'm like, I'm not trying to think of that because it's like, oh,
Yeah,
they would never do
of
that.
course.
But that could be fun. Just like 45 Michael Myers just lined up on the street.
That'd be kind of scary.
And they all do the same thing. It's just like
Yeah.
the movements. That could be fun. What else? Who else has got some good ideas? Ooh, Cabin in the Woods. I mean, that would fit that.
Yeah.
Where you have those characters.
That's true. A bunch of different ones too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jailhouse, Scarehouse.
I really do think Alien vs. Predator and Ghostbusters would be really good. And
Ghostbusters
American Werewolf.
is cool, but I want it to be a little more intense. So I feel like Alien would fit
Yeah.
that. Like just a bunch of xenomorphs. But again, you get into that question, it was like, is it the same? Now they have different things, obviously, that are in the franchise, but I don't know. That's cool. You know what? First of all, hey, great question. Great question. I appreciate that. What about you? What would you pick?
Also, Southridge just said Evil Dead. That's what I would pick. Just Deadites.
Evil Dead? The Deadites. They could do a scare zone
That'd
like
be
that.
a cool scare zone.
Right?
Yeah.
But like, would that be too much of just like zombie-esque?
I guess, but there's so many different Deadites.
Yeah, that's true. Different forms and stuff. Just like an Ash versus Evil Dead type of scare zone.
Yeah.
Way, you know?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I like that. Evil Dead would be cool. Grand Theft Auto Mares. That is our cue to move on to the next topic. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, July 16th. Yesterday, July 15th, we got 2 announcements. And today, July 16th, we got 1 announcement. What?
2 announcements?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get where you're going with that. You have 2 major pieces of information to discuss.
Yes.
That came out yesterday. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Lagoon Show being announced around 11 a.m. Eastern time. It wasn't exactly at 11 a.m., but it was like 11:02, I think, or 11:01. But it was around 11 a.m. Eastern time, and it's Stranger Things. What's the name of it? I'm blanking out. What's the name of the...
Return to Hawkins? Back to Hawkins?
Right? Something like that. Something with Hawkins. So Stranger Things, and here's the heartburn. Stranger Things can be taking over the Lagoon Show. And what I like, just to start off the bat, is that they did the announcement around 11 a.m. So to like pay homage to 11. And at the same time, yesterday was the 10th anniversary of the first season of Stranger Things.
Which is crazy that it's been 10 years.
It makes me sad. I loved season 1. I still love season 1.
That's wild.
And it's, it's crazy too. I feel like why Stranger Things had such a hit when it first came out and all that's because it really like paid homage to the 80s, which was popular, all the tropes, if you will, of the 80s and stuff. And it was just that right bit of entertainment that's like, it's like the Goonies, but more mature. If that makes sense. And it's got, the horror-esque vibes and stuff. It's just a great touch. So I think it did so well. And then when it came to the event, it was just so well received. And that first house in 2018 was so popular too.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
I need to read the description because, anyway, so yeah, so Stranger Things, it was announced as the Lagoon Show. Let me get the, hang on, everybody. Let me get there.
But just
Return to Hawkins. So you were correct. Yes, Return to Hawkins. So, anyways, I thought it was pretty cool the way they announced it, based on just the timing and the relevance to the day that it was. It was the 10-year anniversary of Stranger Things, and they announced it around 11 a.m. But it's just like a photo. It's just they didn't do anything grand, right? However, this was I'm looking at Instagram. This is the post that they had for the announcement. It says Lagoon Show announcement. Wait, did it say Lagoon Show before?
No, it didn't. It
They
just said
changed
show
it.
announcement. I think people were getting confused.
I wish does somebody have a confirmation in the
I'm
chat, like
sure
a picture?
somebody does.
Because I remember it did not say Lagoon Show.
It did not.
Okay, so this is what it says now. Lagoon Show announcement. Stranger Things return to Hawkins. The music, the monsters, the memories. In this show, tune in to a special WSQK broadcast and relive your favorite moments from 5 seasons of Stranger Things. Tickets and packages are now on sale. Don't forget, tickets and packages are now on sale. So yeah, so we're seeing all 5 seasons of Stranger Things. Just everything Stranger Things that's iconic is going to be in the show, is what I'm assuming. But what's kind of crazy though is when they did announce it, they didn't say it was a Lagoon Show. They just said show, and we assumed, okay, Lagoon Show, but it's like, it's weird that they wouldn't say the Lagoon. They did that for every Lagoon show that was announced. They would say it's coming to the Lagoon.
Well, normally we even get like, I guess not artwork for all of them, but yeah, it was very obvious that it was a Lagoon Show.
Yeah.
And this time it was.
No, so a lot of people assumed Lagoon. We assume Lagoon. That's what everyone's talking about. And then people started throwing questions of like, well, what is it? Horror Nights never actually said it was going to be a Lagoon Show. So we're like, wait a minute, is this something different? And it's just kind of funny that their team was like, we'll go in there and tell everybody.
Well, because then Mike Aiello said it was.
Yeah.
Tweeted it.
He confirmed it.
Tweeted it and said the Lagoon Show for this year. So.
Yeah. Which is so funny. It's like, do they not think that through, or is this something that we as a community just take a little too far?
I don't know.
You would think though, as a company, they would say this is what this is.
Yeah.
And it's like they left out one big component to that announcement. So I thought a lot of people. It was kind of funny how a lot of people were like, "What is this? Where is this at?" I think even Orlando Informer said it was like a stage show as well. So then people were really like confused, and then of course they changed it. Yeah, see, Chris Sussings, he said Orlando Informer called it a stage show. Yeah, which is kind of funny. I think a lot of people were confused about it. And then Mike Aiello came in and was like, Lagoon Show. And then the company's like, oh.
Yes, we need
it's a Lagoon Show, everybody.
People were tweeting them. I don't even know the phrase I use for X, but they were tweeting them back and saying, is this a Lagoon Show or is this a stage show? Forgot what I was saying. Is this a Lagoon Show or is this a stage show? And I think eventually they kind of realized that they needed to clarify. But either way, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? How you feeling?
I have liked all of the Lagoon shows. I do think I would have been bummed if it was the same thing again this year.
Ghoulish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only because it's nice to get something different.
Yeah. And we both like Ghoulish.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's not.
I would just want something different for this year, so I'm excited that they are doing something new. I think the music for Stranger Things is great. I love all of the music, so I hope they really use all of that in the show, and if they do it, I think it'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you got
ahead.
more?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
No.
I was just going to say, personally, I've seen a lot of people talk about how they're just tired of Stranger Things. And, I get that. I get it. However, though, I think there's an argument to be made that, Stranger Things is this big thing, like Walking Dead was, but I think even just one extra step than what Walking Dead did. So like I feel like doing this crescendo, if you will, for the show and like closing the chapter and stuff, I think it's nice. I think it's good. I think you kind of have to, and which is why they did, the house itself. I did not expect this to come out as a stage or a Lagoon show. I did not expect that 100%. And what's so cool is, I'm going to try to go in order. My brain is all over the place, by the way, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm actually like focusing more on the heartburn that's building up so bad.
Goodness.
But when this was announced, I was actually caught off like by complete surprise. We tried our best to stay away from like speculation conversations this year, speculation map stuff. So when they announced like Stranger Things is going to be the Lagoon show, I was like, whoa, what? I did not know that this was going to happen because we tried staying away from all the conversations and not all of it worked. But for this one, it did. And my first thought was just actual excitement because I didn't know this was happening. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is so cool. I didn't know this was going to be a thing. So it's exciting to me. It feels new in, like that first initial reaction I had was nice, and I wish I had that for everything else. However, though, I'm like split because when this was announced, like, oh, it's Stranger Things, I have the mindset of like, okay, so we're not getting like an anniversary themed show at all for this year, which is interesting, and I feel like that will be a conversation. But I also like the first thought that came to mind with the show is that I was thinking like, hey, like, why am I getting 2019 Marathon of Mayhem from this? And it's because in 2019's Marathon of Mayhem, we did get a portion of that show was Stranger Things. But it's like, okay, is this whole Stranger Things Lagoon show going to be like that portion or like the show, like the Marathon of Mayhem? Because the Stranger Things portion wasn't Marathon of Mayhem. It was just a portion of that show. And that show itself was just awesome because everything they had in it. Will this Stranger Things Return to Hawkins show be like Marathon of Mayhem where it feels
like exciting enough?
Not just exciting, but like it offers so many different things like Marathon of Mayhem, because you had classic monsters, you had Ghostbusters, you had Stranger Things, you had all those things thrown into the mix. That was just cool when those parts would come up and it changed, and they vibed so well. They meshed so well together.
Do you think it'll get like,
or is it?
It'll be a little too one note with it being just Stranger Things.
Like, is it too one note? But again, they are doing all 5 seasons. A lot of different things happen in there. But again, then I'm excited because like the music, I love the music in Stranger Things, and it's great. But it's just like, I'm like 99% excited, and the 1% that's kind of like hesitant is where it's like, this is a kind of a weird fit into everything else that's going on around the show. Like you have the circus, or the circus. I keep saying circus. It's a circus.
Carnival,
the
circus.
Carnival,
I feel
right?
like they're the only difference is animals.
True.
And rides.
But like you have all like a carnival theme. You have Jack and Oddfellow. You have this main anniversary year that's going on, and then you have this Stranger Things only show to celebrate Stranger Things. Like it just kind of feels like it's just a little off-putting to me.
Yeah, I guess. I think the timing, the way it lined up, like obviously they're going to do like season 5 of Stranger Things. And if they ever wanted to do a Lagoon show as a tribute to all 5 seasons of Stranger Things, this is the year that they can do it. If they waited till next year, it'd be kind of like a little too late, I think. So I think the way it just lined up, it just happened to fall on an anniversary year. But
yeah,
I will say I am more excited for the Lagoon show than I am for the Stranger Things house.
Yeah, okay, yes. I'm so confused with this, with the way I feel about it, because just like you said, I am looking way more forward to the Return to Hawkins show than the actual like season 5 house. And maybe that's because we haven't seen season 5 yet, but also we have not heard the most positive reviews when it comes to season 5. And the fact that some people as well as ourselves were thinking when it came to the house, like, is it just going to be season 5? Or if this is like the final note to Stranger Things, will they do all seasons and have a mashup and do that?
I do still wish that did that.
I agree, but I think that's why I'm more excited for the show.
Yeah.
Because it is including all those. And like, I loved season 1, loved season 2, loved season 3, and I liked season 4. So the fact that I'm getting those that I know guaranteed I like, where season 5 I don't know yet, and I don't know how much it's going to be in the show, I feel like it's a safe route for me versus the house.
Yeah. Also, I love the like vibes of Stranger Things and the music and everything. So I think that will shine really well in a Lagoon show, even more so than a house. Not saying it won't in a house, but even more so in a Lagoon show.
Yeah, I want to read off some of y'all's comments here talking about the Lagoon show real quick. Let's see. Tyler Pugh, hey, we look back at Marathon of Mayhem so fondly, and I do think this one could have similar vibes with the music and everything. Mm-hmm. And that's like one of the first thoughts that came to my mind when this was announced was 2019's Marathon of Mayhem, which I still feel like to this day, with all the Lagoon shows that we've had since then, it's been the best one. But also people keep, when you compare a Lagoon show, that's what you are comparing against.
Yeah.
Whatever Lagoon show comes in the future or even in recent years, it's going up against 2019's. And I do feel like, like this has that vibe. This feels like such. And although I'm so excited for that, I'm still kind of thrown off because it's like this year, this anniversary year is not like that. Where 2019, maybe it works so well because everything else around it was also like that. 80s synth, it was all that. This year's
not.
I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I just feel like
I do think
it's weird.
I do think we've gotten to a point where with the IPs that we do have to temper expectations when it comes to like cohesiveness and theming with the entire park.
I agree.
Because the IPs just don't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like I fall into that category of like, they should do that. But like, it's almost impossible to go after those. So like, I agree. And that's on me too. I'm excited for it. Let's see what else we got. Shanna said Marathon of Mayhem was so much better than Ghoulish. It actually tied in the IPs. I agree. I liked Ghoulish. I just think Marathon of Mayhem is just stronger. Let's see. Mr. Disney King, all the songs from the Stranger Things soundtrack will bring us back to the classic 2018, 2019 HHN soundtracks. I do think so too, and I hope so because, again, how often do we listen to 2019's soundtrack?
Yeah.
Like at least 3 times a week.
I do also think that this Lagoon show could be really emotional.
Yeah.
In some ways. Which is not necessarily what you want going to a horror event to be like getting choked up. But I don't know. Because it's like the end of an era.
It is. And, we talked about this. I don't know if that was today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday where I was trying to like debate with myself about, okay, does this fit an anniversary year for what's going on? And we did mention, I think you mentioned earlier in the live stream, the fact that we had COVID that skipped that year. This year, 2026 should have been, if everything went normal, HHN 36. So Stranger Things might have worked out perfectly fine, but it's not. It's HHN 35. It's just the way the cards line up. I can't see them doing a Stranger Things Lagoon show next year when they're closing everything pretty much this year for Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. Another thing to make reference to is Stranger Things has been a huge impact on pop culture. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Huge impact. So much so that like we have it at Halloween Horror Nights. And if you go back to 2018, Halloween Horror Nights, they had an official video they posted with all the creatives. It was an HHN Live for 2018. And I remember, I think it was Mike Aiello that said this too, where when Stranger Things came out, the whole group was like, we need this at Halloween Horror Nights. It was such a big pop culture sensation and still is. It very much is, whatever you think about it. The fact that it came to Halloween Horror Nights and I don't know. I don't want to say it upped the ante when it came to IPs or just the event offerings and stuff.
It definitely brought in a new crowd. I think it made HHN a little bit more like
in the spotlight,
attractive to the general population.
Yeah. I do agree with that. And because of that, it has allowed the creatives and the company to, I think, go in certain directions that probably were not present before, and allow them to take that leap in certain directions.
For better or worse.
Yeah, for better or worse, for sure. We're going to get into that conversation later. Like, you know, should Fortnite even be considered? anyways, it is kind of fitting in a way that it is in an anniversary year because they're celebrating 10 years of Stranger Things. It was at the event. It was a big hit at the event. 2018 was a huge success. 2019, in my opinion, was also a big success too. Then we had 2022 or 23, maybe 2023. It was 2023. Stranger Things, we had season 4, 2023, was at the event. And although we weren't the biggest fans of the house, they had a lot of merch, a lot of push for it. A lot of people were excited for this. A lot of people did enjoy it too. So you can't deny like the impact it has had on the event, on pop culture. So 10 years of Stranger Things, we're at an anniversary year of Halloween Horror Nights, and they're doing this big closeout. I think it's fine that they do all these things Stranger Things related to like pay homage to what Stranger Things has done for the event itself, for the creatives and for the fans.
And then we can move on.
Yeah, and then we can move on. I'll be sad. I'm not going to lie. I will be, because I do love Stranger Things. I feel like the last house wasn't fully a hit for me, in my opinion. But yeah, I do think I will say I'll probably see this show a handful of times.
Yeah.
I definitely will try to catch this show multiple times.
Especially because we won't have Express Pass.
We'll get into that later. So, overall, what are your thoughts on the Stranger Things show? Like it? Excited, right?
I'm excited. I think, like you said, it doesn't necessarily match like the theming for the year, but I'm more excited for this than the Stranger Things house.
Yeah.
And I think the music will be good.
I agree. Chat, what do you think? Are we excited? Are we not excited? What are we thinking? Go ahead and put in the chat ones if we are excited for the Stranger Things Return to Hawkins show being in the Lagoon, or twos in the chat if we think this is a waste of space. What do we think? Let's see. We got ones. We got a 2. I'm not surprised from who. 1. Okay, so I'm seeing ones right now, mainly. I will give it a 1 myself. I personally am excited for it just because I love Stranger Things. I think this is a great, farewell. I do think it's just a weird fit with everything else going on in the park as far as the vibe goes. But I like it. I like it. I'm excited. And maybe, who knows, I watch it and I'm like, oh, this sucks. I don't know. Maybe I watch it, I'm like, this is better than 2019. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. And I think one of the main reasons, again, is because I was surprised by it. I do like Stranger Things. And because it's featuring all those shows, I think this is a good way to say goodbye versus just a season 5 house.
Agreed.
So ones. I see a 3 in there. Well, I am. And then a 1.5. I understand. I feel that 1.5.
Yeah, maybe this
Get
will...
it. Brie and Nick, yeah. 1.5.
D. Diggles said, I feel like it'll push people to the Lagoon Show to help disperse the crowds. Hopefully.
I hope so, too. Especially because of what stuff?
No Express Pass for us, at least.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. Next thing.
Killer Clowns.
I'm like nervous to get to the third topic of today.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So, anyways.
Nico is in my like foot area, so I have my feet on him.
Anyways, moving forward from the Stranger Things Lagoon Show announcement that we got yesterday, we're going to skip one of the announcements from yesterday, or conversations, and save that for last, and move on to today, which we did get another announcement. Steph, you want to take that over? Because I'm having heartburn.
So we got an announcement today for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and they will be in the street of Universal Orlando. Brian and I debated if that was a typo or not, saying street instead of streets. I think it goes either way. I think it's fine.
Chat, what do you think? Type in the comment if it should have been street or streets. Let us know. Settle this debate right here.
Street is like the actual physical concrete. Streets is like the name, like individual names of streets.
I want to know what people think. Also, let's see. Fun Guy Gamer, by the way, member in the Fright Club Legends for 46 months.
Yeah.
That's almost 4 years.
Tyler said street conceptually. Exactly.
Fun Guy said, to be honest, I'm more excited by the aspect of another Netflix license, waiting for Fear Street next, hopefully. I agree. We've been wanting Fear Street.
Has it been too long, though?
I feel like you can make that argument about a lot of things, though, too. Has it been too long for Halloween? But I know
That's
Fear
different.
Street. I know. Fear Street's not like the level of Halloween, but I still feel like it would do. Can it do well at the event?
Yeah,
I think that's
for sure.
Can it be scary?
I would love to see it. I'm not saying that I don't want it.
I agree. But I think you bring a good argument for why it shouldn't go. You know,
I think it's more horror-esque than even Stranger Things.
No, I agree. But that's what I'm thinking. It's like, I feel like, again, decisions, you kind of mentioned it with Stranger Things, like, you know, taking paths and stuff, whether you should or shouldn't. I feel like if it fits the event and it's scary or not, that should determine whether you go after it. No matter how long it's been since it's been out. Anyways, what do we got? Streets or streets? Okay, let's see.
It's split.
So streets, avenue, Chris? Okay. Street conceptually. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You keep track of the street. I'm keeping track of streets. So I got 4 streets. You got 1 street. Let's see. Okay. There's another street. There's a 3. Okay. 3 street.
I think I win.
What? 4 street.
Will.i.am said grammatically.
It's tied.
So this is what I was arguing with Brian. Will.i.am said grammatically correct, but worded strangely, which is, I agree. Technically, it's not wrong, but like we would say streets because we talk about like the scare zones as being streets, but it might not be coming to a scare zone necessarily. It might be like roaming or something like that. Maybe they don't want people to think it is an actual scare zone. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but here's the thing. I would argue if you don't want people to think it's a scare zone, you would say streets, because then you can find it anywhere of the street experiences that they have.
It's interchangeable.
I think either way,
interchangeable.
I think either way is correct. I do. Either way is correct. But I feel like they meant to say streets of Universal, because you wouldn't say street of Universal Orlando Resort.
They're on the street.
We on the street of UO, baby. Like, Killer Clowns, we're back. Zap, zap, cotton candy.
No.
Woo, popcorn.
That would be
like,
streets.
Whatever.
Anyway, the word is losing its meaning in my head. It's not a real word anymore.
Anyways, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is coming back to Halloween Horror Nights here in Orlando. It's also going to be at Hollywood for the 30th year, I believe. I know that there's a facade that's the same facade. So they'll also have it as a house. But we are getting, at least this is just a Horror Nights Orlando only
We're getting
announcement.
A something.
We're getting a something. We're getting Killer Clowns. Now, what do you think this means? What is Killer Clowns actually doing?
I have seen 2 distinct speculations.
Okay.
I think it was HHN35 on TikTok said it could potentially, or their theory is that it could potentially be that
the stage right by the Christmas, the old Christmas store. Yeah.
Maybe like a little half roaming photo op sort of thing.
You and I for a fact know it's not there because that's the official Baby Robinson meet and greet with Nico and Hondo.
However, I have heard...
We say you're not the Baby Robinson.
However, I have heard other speculation, and maybe this is just wishful thinking, that they'd be in Springfield. I would like that. I think that would be cool. They kind of belong there. Not belong there.
I see what you're saying.
If you're going to put them anywhere, put them in like the little carnival area.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't think I heard anybody talk about it being in Springfield. So now that you bring that, that's the first time I'm hearing that.
I've heard a few people say
I
that.
kind of like that.
Like I said, I don't know if that's speculation or if that's just wishful thinking.
Just put them in Diagon. Just have them in Diagon Alley.
They can be going up against the
Killer Clowns meet Harry Potter.
what are they
Death
called?
Eaters.
The Death Eaters. I keep wanting to say Dementors.
That's funny. Okay, so the Springfield idea I've never heard of actually, and I kind of like that. That'd be cool. I don't think that's the case, but I do like that. Just because it's an IP in an IP area, I think that
Probably not gonna happen.
that probably won't happen. Now, the one of it being in the stage, that's by the Christmas store, the old Christmas store, I should say. I could see that. I feel like that is definitely going to be like some... I don't know, though, because like they have speakers there. They have like this whole setup that I feel like it'd be more than just a photo op, if that makes sense. The Killer Clowns, they're not going to speak.
Yeah, they used to have them meet in front of the house, though. So, and do like photos and
I get
stuff.
that, but they didn't have like a speaker and lighting. They didn't have that. They were just in front of their vehicle, in front of the house, which was really cool. But I don't know. I've heard people also say like maybe in front of Fallon. They, the truss that's in front of Fallon.
Sorry, my chat is not refreshing.
Oh, bummer. Somebody put in the chat, hello, save us. Help us, SOS. Yeah, our internet is also like a little iffy today. So if anything is going awry, please let us know. Can you guys hear us? Everything's good?
We did also miss not a super chat, but
No, we did.
Did you do it?
We did.
Oh yeah, you did.
We did.
Sorry.
It's okay, baby brain. We got it. Are you back? My chat's good. Everyone's like, no, save us. Help. Hello.
Okay, there it is.
Are you back? You good?
Yeah, all good.
All right. Did we lose you guys for a minute? Looks like the live
No.
dropped on Stuff's end.
That was just me refreshing. You should be good.
Oh, I'm good. You good? You guys good?
All right.
But I heard people also talk about in front of Fallon. They may have the characters lined up in front of Fallon, which would be interesting. I'm not against that. Another idea that I have thought of and I have seen as well is people are thinking this could be potentially Fortnitemares, and these characters could potentially be a part of that.
Does
one of the
Fortnite
IPs.
have Killer Clowns?
I want to say yes, but I don't know. They probably don't, and if they don't, then it would be an announcement they would make, and that's why Hornites is waiting to do an announcement with them.
I'm not the person to ask, but I did also see before this announcement, there was speculation that one of the scare zones was like a mashup of clowns, like different clowns from different things that we've seen, and Killer Clowns was one of them. We kind of were like, I don't know how that would work with all the different IPs mashing together. I do think it would be weird if they did this as an announcement and then like we're like, oh, it's just one of the characters in a scare zone that we're announcing like next week. I feel like that would be...
Yeah, because like I also thought maybe this isn't Sideshow of Decay, but that doesn't really make sense fully. And if this is... Okay, so does everybody think Fortnitemares is going to be in Central Park? I'll wait for the chat to catch up. Because
could be like the Megans. They all come out in just like a random area and start dancing.
I'm getting to that.
They have choreography.
Have them dance, especially in the big bodies that they're in.
That'd be great.
I would actually wait to watch that. Unlike the Megans, I would watch them. However, anyways, if Fortnitemares, if that's actually a thing, if that's happening, and it takes Central Park, because it does not look like it's going to be in New York. It's definitely not in Hollywood. It's not the front of the park. Club Horror looks like it's regaining Central Park or San Francisco. So it's like, okay, either Killer Clowns is going to be in the Fortnitemares section, but it would not make sense for them to announce the Killer Clowns first and then the Scare Zone later, unless they have something planned and people are like, oh, we're getting all this, and then Fortnite collects all that. I don't know. It's weird. So that doesn't really make sense. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I can't see it in the New York scare zone. But if the New York scare zone is like all these clowns or whatever, maybe that's just kind of, I don't know. It's just weird to me in a way.
I think it'll just be roaming. I think it'll just be roaming characters. But that would be, I mean, I guess Art had like people with him. I feel like the clowns would be hard because like it's got to be tough to see in those costumes.
Yeah.
So you can't have them just walking around and.
So the other option would be they're part of a roaming cast of characters
that go to like one spot and we're kind of in
like where they walk around.
I know, but not just
in a
like
scare zone. Yeah, they're not just
where
like
he was wherever.
Yeah, he's not. You're not gonna. Well, I don't know. Maybe you have like Spike that goes right into the a store or something. I don't know. Just it's a skill issue, I guess. If you can't walk around.
Yeah, like they roam one area. They're roaming, but in one area, not just like around the whole park.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is the roaming character concept is very popular at HHN.
Mm-hmm.
We had it at HHN30 with Jack the Clown, and a lot of people loved it. We loved it ourselves. I thought one of the coolest memories that I still have from HHN 30, but just HHN in general, is when we were headed to Haunting of Hill House, and we ran into Jack the Clown on the way when we were in the queue line. Like we still haven't even gotten to the main portion of the queue line. He was just there, and we're just like chatting, which is so cool. It's just cool having those moments. Those are little things like that I think not only help people's experience at HHN, but also help queue line experience, which is what I want to bring up. Last year we had Art the Clown, big success. People loved Art the Clown roaming around. I think Art the Clown is a good character that fits within Halloween Horror Nights, especially out in the street. I think it's great. One thing we've always talked about, even before last year, was they need to enhance the queue line experience at Halloween Horror Nights because queue lines are long. There's really nothing to do. And when they had Jack the Clown roam around and go to queue lines and stuff, it was like everybody was like looking and they were all getting, interactive and engaging. And like 5, 10, 15 minutes would pass sometimes and you didn't even realize it. Having Art the Clown, I don't know if Art really went around queue lines as much. I know I saw him once in a queue line, but he was mainly out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really see him much in queue lines. However, though, if they're doing something for the street, because the creatives, they call it the street experiences, right? So anything that takes place, the scare zones, little sideshows, roaming characters, chainsaws, all that, they're part of the street program. And what if the killer clowns, as well as another group of a cast that we don't know yet, are going to be part of this roaming street experience, this program that they have, where they go to queue lines, they go out on the street, and they do these different things to just make the event more engaging than just being in the park. It's also the queue lines backstage and stuff, like they did with Jack. I feel like that would be received well.
Yeah, for sure.
Good talk.
No, I agree. It just is interesting that they announced it, but we're not going to tell you what it is.
Right. I genuinely think that's where I think this is going, is that they're part of a roaming, and I say roaming character, doesn't mean they're just like they are let loose in the park and they just go, but they're somewhere in the park you can find. They don't have like a designated location all the time. I feel like that's where it's going, unless it's a Fortnite thing. However, though, I did see somebody mention this earlier today, and like it was like a comment on a post that I saw like on TikTok earlier, and like nobody responded to it. I didn't respond to it, but I just like was like, oh, like I like this, and I started running ideas on it, and they were like the trusts that are in front of Jimmy Fallon. They're like, what if that's a different scare zone than what we have where the Mummy is?
New York.
In New York. What if New York is two things?
They'd be very close together.
Where it's not like a scare zone, but like where those trusts are and stuff in front of Fallon, that's where they're going to put the photo ops like they did with the HHN bar, and have certain characters featured there on stage for photo ops in that area leading into a scare zone.
Maybe.
It's big enough for it.
It's definitely big enough for it.
Or what if the clowns are just going to be at the HHN bar? And because it's a big IP, they have to make an announcement like this.
Maybe.
But then you would think they would just say at the HHN bar?
Yeah, that's what I mean, is like whatever it is, it's interesting that they are not telling us what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
They want us to
Sometimes-
do this.
Yeah, maybe because like sometimes they do this. We're like, oh, more details coming, and then it's nothing. You know, it's like, oh, they'll be at the bar. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what they did that with before, but I can't think of anything. I know they have though.
Chris Listings, killer clown overlay inside of ET.
If they keep the ride on, but with the killer clown overlay, that'd be cool.
Will I Am said a club horror.
That music.
Okay. No. Get rid of the dancing girls and stuff like that. I don't really like when they do that. Get rid of that and put the killer clowns dancing. Yeah. Cotton candy, little
Don't really
guns.
dance that much.
No, they could even just stand there and just stare at people as the music's just going on.
Be kind of creepy.
Instead of club horror, it should just be club awkward. That's real horror
That's
right
really,
there. So, Fungi Gamers honestly just want to hang out in the ET's queue.
Shorty getting it down would be crazy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, what if they get all these different IP characters just to go, like, have a mosh pit? Or just...
I mean, that would basically be Fortnite.
Believe it or not, the whole event's just Fortnite,
Oh
actually.
gosh.
Anyways. So with that being said, I'm excited for Killer Clowns. I love Killer Clowns. Something I gotta say this too. I've never watched Killer Clowns fully ever in my life.
Really, we haven't.
No.
We watched it at my HHN orientation.
Wait a minute.
Not the whole thing, but
Did we watch it? No, we put it on for just a little video. We did the beginning, but we never fully watched the movie. Because I have seen the whole movie, but never from start to finish. I've only ever seen bits and pieces. And stuff. I think the longest I've ever watched it was when I came in like 30 minutes after it started and watched the whole thing, and then have seen the beginning but never finished it then.
yeah, the first time I saw it, like bits and pieces of it, was in my like HHN orientation for 2018.
2018.
They
When it was the
played-
Scare Zone.
They played it
Quite
on our like lunch break.
Yeah.
Not the whole thing, obviously, but
That's cool though.
then after that, I went and watched the whole thing. I had never heard of it before.
Do you miss being a scare actor?
Yes and no.
Yeah. There's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Same with being a guest. It's like being on both sides. There are pros and cons. It's so funny because one of the earliest memories I have as like just being alive was I remember being at Well and Wello's house, and they had Killer Clowns on the TV. It was just playing like on cable or whatever, and I distinctly remember the shadow puppet of the dinosaur.
Yeah,
And then like
eating
getting
guy.
the people, and I remember walking by the TV and briefly seeing that, and then walking away and being like, "What is that? Like that's terrifying." I must have been like 3 years old, like 3 or 4 years old. It was like one of the earlier memories I have in life. So, D Giggles, Diggle said, "Fake fan, get out of here, get out of here." I didn't say I was the biggest fan. I just said I'm a fan. I like the vibe. So anyways, Killer Clowns coming to HHN in what fashion or form? We have no idea. They're just going to be there. I'm excited for it though. I like it. But I do want to know what the whole plot of this is going to be.
Yeah.
Because if it leads to Fortnite, it's like, but then again,
That would be so weird. They have to announce each IP separately.
maybe the IPs demand that they do such a thing.
Yeah, but you would think like the whole point of getting Fortnite is like so that they can have all these IPs all together and not have to do all this like individual
I mean, yeah,
legal
but
stuff.
I don't know. Again, legal sucks. Legal really does. Legal is not fun. I don't know. It's just when it comes to those conversations, that's something I do not do well in. Anyways,
It's annoying. I get why they do it, but it is
also
it sucks the fun out of everything.
looking at Joey Mayo's comment here, he said, "I remember seeing it on TV as a little kid and then trying to explain to my friends what I had seen, and none of them believed me." Yeah.
That was me watching the Halloween movies in second grade. And then going to school and like wanting to tell everybody. And they were like, You mean
That's one of those
like,
kids that you were like, "Oh."
I remember the
she's
kids
scary.
being like, "You mean like Halloween Town?" I'm like, no.
Okay.
I do agree that if like the for Fortnite, like all the characters are just gonna look like they're not gonna look like Fortnite.
I don't know. I really have no idea because D Diggles also said, but unless they're cartoon styled, it won't feel like Fortnite.
Unless they
and that's
make
true.
them all do like the
Stop. You're just thinking you know that because of JJK.
yeah. The like what is it? It's like a banana or coconut song, and they all like do that dance to it.
I don't know. I have no idea. No clue. My point though is that the animation, the way that the characters look in Fortnite is a little more like stylized, like cartooned in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna
They're not gonna be
though.
able to. But that's the point. Is like it's not gonna look like Fortnite. It's just gonna be a mashup of a bunch of different characters.
Which would that be a problem?
I guess not.
I mean, imagine having Killer Clowns, Michael Myers, and a Xenomorph in the same like 30 feet radius. That's cool.
Maybe the props will be more stylized and the music and lights and stuff. Like that would suck because then it's just that and then like horror characters.
Could you
It's so
imagine this
weird.
whole year everybody's been talking about Fortnite
And it
mirrors
doesn't
and it never
happen.
happens? This is gonna be one of those like, whew, okay. Why did we get so stressed about that? I don't know. We'll see. Again, in my opinion, I really do genuinely think that Halloween Horror Nights, the creatives can take any concept and run with it and make it work. I truly believe that. This one is going to be.
What music do
on
they even
Shabbat.
play? Or like ambiance? I don't know what that is.
That's like old Fortnite. That's all I
Oh.
remember. I don't know. I don't know any of the ones that are now.
Like,
I
can
don't
they
know.
just play mashups of like the,
Hey, guys,
the IP's music?
Do you guys think that Stephanie should live stream her just playing Fortnite?
No. I would just do the dancing. I
Salvage
wouldn't-
Film said Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, yeah, she's in it.
Somebody said Doja Cat? Giant bananas.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. All right. Let's save the stream. Let's bring us back. Let's get away from Fortnite conversations. So anyways, Killer Clowns coming to the event some way, fashion, form. We don't know. I'm excited. I'm very worried, but I'm excited. You're excited? Killer Clowns. Who doesn't like Killer Clowns, right? They were at HHN28 and HHN29. Big success. So I'm hoping that
Great
continues.
success.
Big success.
No. It's like Borat.
Whatever. Great success. But now I think it's time to get into
The big conversation.
the big, and Hondo stood up. It's like, yeah. No, not you,
He's
not
like,
you.
me?
A 30-minute stretch. No, go lay down. Go lay down. It's not your turn yet, buddy. Sorry. Probably need to fix the blanket. He dropped the blanket.
He's fine.
That's why he's getting up.
Just a little bit longer.
A little bit longer. We're already an hour into the live stream, and we
Anyway.
are into the main topic.
Should we start with a poll to just like
I think it
do
should start
like a
with a warning
temperature
label
check?
first. I think that's a good idea. We can get into the poll if you want to start getting that ready. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the third main topic that we're talking about today, and really the big one that we wanted to get into, is the no express pass with multi-night pass kind of thing going. I just want to say this before we really get into this again. Let's all be respectful in the comments. Maybe all of you guys agree. That'd be awesome. I don't know. But I'm all for debates. I want to hear what you guys think. I'm going to do my best going through this process of like talking, but also trying to read y'all's comments and same with stuff. Like we genuinely want to know what all of you guys think about this, and not just like whether you're like, oh, I like this, tell me why, or I don't like this, tell me why. I'd love to know what's on your minds when it comes to this, but be respectful with each other. Please be respectful to us, but if you don't want to, that's okay. Hey, freedom of speech, it's fine with us. We'll try to be respectful to you guys. We'll be respectful to each other and vice versa. Because I've seen a lot of division when it comes to this, and you know, it does bum me out a little bit when people get so heated in debate, which, you know, debating is great. You know, we want things to get better. Debate is healthy. It's good. But when it's not a healthy conversation and people are, you know, jabbing at each other, you know, things that I just don't feel like is necessary, I think we lose the plot. So let's stay respectful because that's what we want. Now, if you want to call me out on my crap and say mean things to me, I don't care. You're more than welcome to. Go ahead and vent to me all you want. I don't care. But don't do it to Steph. She'll come for you.
I think my take will be very, as always, I'm a big like devil's advocate type of person. I can see things from both ways.
Oh. I can see
I
things.
see dumb people. I can see things from both perspectives on a lot of different things. And this is one of those things where I can see it from multiple different perspectives.
By the way, I just want to put this out there. Stephanie did put a poll in the chat. So go into the chat, go ahead and answer the poll. Yeah. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there in case somebody doesn't see it.
So I think, like, do we want to just get into how we feel about it? I was going to say I was just going to go, but...
Yeah, the first thing I see in the chat is Southridge, thankfully. They said, Brian, you're a big doo-doo head. So.
Oh, okay.
That's the first thing I saw, so, I mean, great.
So I will say that, of course, as people who buy the frequent fare with Express every year that we possibly can, and the one year that we couldn't because it sold out, we were really upset about it all year, and it was tough waiting in line. We're, of course, upset because we loved having Express with our frequent fare passes. For us,
it works for us.
It works. It's a lot easier. We don't go to the event. We have dogs. We're, not old, but we're like getting to the point where we don't want to be out till 3 a.m.
You're not old.
So
you're young.
So, what we do is we like to have the Express so we can go for, 2 hours, still be able to do 2 or 3 houses, and then leave. And that way we can get back to our dogs. We don't use this as like, a vacation where we go 4 nights in a row and we have Express and we go from like open to close. We use the Express to be able to go for a short period of time and then leave. So it does throw a wrench in things for us because now when we go, if we want to stay only 2 hours because we have to get back to the dogs, we have to go to sleep to get up for work in the morning, we probably won't be able to do a house because it will be it's not likely that very many houses are going to give us the opportunity to get in there, wait in line for a house, do a house, and then leave.
Yeah.
Without going over the amount of time that we can be there. However, with that said, I know a lot of people have been complaining about the lines, been complaining about Express lines. So I understand how other people are excited for this. People who don't typically buy Express are very excited for this. And I get that. If we were people who did not buy Express, we would be excited for this as well because we would be like, maybe it will make the standby line shorter. But we also don't know if that will actually happen or not. We'll have to see after this year if it makes any change to the standby lines or not. So my take is I'm upset, but also not like shaking my fist at Universal, because if it does work out that the standby lines are shorter by some miracle, I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. But if it does, then it saves us a lot of money. I think the big thing is how they announced it. I don't like that they just responded to a tweet and that's how everybody found out. I wish they would have made some sort of announcement. I wish they would have let people know earlier so they could plan for it. But other than that, like I said, very kind of like lukewarm on the whole situation. All right, now you go ahead.
Hey, Steph. So I'm gonna talk to you right now. Okay, not them, to you. Honey, I could probably talk about this topic for how long? About 2 hours, maybe? I mean, how long did I go off on it earlier? Quite some time, right? So look at me. Look at me. Try to monitor me. Make sure I don't drive these people to midnight tonight.
I'll make sure.
Okay. All right. So Stephanie brought up some good points and some points that I will talk about and mention as well. I'm reading some of the comments too from you guys as well real quick.
I will also say the poll right now is at 34 votes, and the majority at 44% are indifferent.
Yeah. So here's the thing. How crazy is this? Right? I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. Go ahead.
I will also say that, like, I think a lot of people are getting upset on both sides and getting very passionate about this, and I think that's fine. But we also don't know how this is going to pan out. We have no idea until the event starts and takes place, you know, what's going to happen. Will this make the line shorter? Will it not?
Yeah.
And I think then we can they can figure out, like, if this was the right call or not. They can always next year reinstate it. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
2 cents. Your cent is worth more than anyone else's cents. By 1 cent. All right. I just want to say this. I have a lot to say. I'm probably going to repeat some of the stuff that Stephanie did say. Just because I'm gonna just let it all out. I'm just gonna go for it. And I'm gonna try my best to try to make it make sense and stay organized and categorized and whatever, because there's a lot of different things I look at this. The first thing that I want to say is where I think the biggest problem is with what Universal did. And it's actually one of the options that I realized that you put down in the poll is just wish they announced it better. I think this is where a lot of people are upset, and I don't think the other side, like, for instance, I side more with, I think this is a negative more than it is a positive. That's where I side a little bit more. Again,
I do agree with that. I think it's more of a negative than a positive.
Just like Steph said, we have spent hours today and even yesterday discussing this whole situation, and we have tried our hardest to be as open-minded to both sides, to try to be as unbiased as we can, to play devil's advocate, because just because I think one way that something should be done doesn't mean that's the only way that things should be done. Like, we all have different opinions on things and stuff. And again, a healthy debate is important to have.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just also wanted to point out, because we were talking about this earlier, and Tyler Pugh just put it in the chat, that Hollywood also has never had express passes with their frequent fear pass. I'm sure you were going to cover this, but their wait times are awful. You have to get express pass there. Their wait times are really, really bad. They don't have as many houses as us.
I want to scream.
So maybe.
Okay. let me have the floor, okay? I'm trying my best to stay calm. I'm letting you speak as much as possible, because I feel like you are so like much shorter and getting like across the point and more direct. And I think like what you said is exactly how I feel. And it's like, okay, we could just leave it at that. But then it's like, I need to get some weight off my chest with this, you know? Again, everything Steph has basically said is exactly like how I feel. Right. I want to start off. First of all, I noticed we did get a super chat, so I want to bring this up before I get lost. That super chat never gets to screen here. I can't see it because the poll is in the way. Could you?
It's Derek Morris. Gave us $1.99.
What up, Derek?
And it says Fortnite with banana emojis. Thank you for
Honestly,
the $2.
Well, it's all right, Derek, because I love whatever profile picture you have. We still don't know what that is. It's a bird, right? I have no idea what that is. I think it's a bird or something. Derek, thanks for the $1.99, man. I appreciate that. Again, don't have to do it, but we do appreciate it. We'll put it to the Hondo Treat Fund, and now that Nico gets a benefit from that too. It'd be so cool. Maybe we do a live stream where we tell everyone to change their profile pictures to a different animal, and then we go do a live stream in animal actors. Okay. So, like, chat, like, please forgive me for how this is going to go. I have so much to say. It's an hour and 13 minutes in the live stream, so here we go. What angers me more about the situation is the way that they did it. You're telling me that the way this is being thrown out in the community is in a response to somebody's message on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it. And Universal responded. That's how this information came out. It wasn't like Universal put this information out there. It's just that they just responded to somebody with that. And then it just caught fire. It just took off, right? Which in my mind, in my viewpoint, that's not even them announcing to us.
No.
Like, they're not even saying, hey, by the way, guys, we just want to let you know this is taking place this year, just so you guys are prepared. No, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, by the way, just letting you know, dude. Like,
it
that's what's
almost
going on.
seems like they weren't going to say anything until they released the frequent fear passes, and then somebody responded to a tweet that wasn't supposed to.
Yes. So continuing with that, what agitates me is that either A, that is true, or B, this company is still in this position where nobody's on the same page. All departments are still willy-willy all over here making their own decisions. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's on the same page to make it cohesive. Nobody wants to have that discussion, a hard discussion to make things right. Look, I'm a little furious because I've been in this company. I know how these people talk. And it's like, guys, all you have to do is just come together. It's not that hard. Honestly, just let the creatives do the work. Just let them do the work. But I sit here and it's like, seeing these decisions is that you're going to go this long without making this announcement to the public, like prior, and the way that people find out is in a response to a message on X. Like, to me, that's just like not classy, right? Like, come on, Universal could do better. And as I'm like watching this, people who are now realizing that they were going to get Express Pass with their frequent fear passes, which has been a thing for a long time. And now here's again the counter argument that I have to myself, playing devil's advocate, is that it wasn't always like that. We'll get into that in a second. Again, I'm going to go ahead and fight for the people who are very upset with this, and I'm also going to fight for the people who are very happy about this. I'm going to fight for both of you guys, okay? I can see it both sides. And my heartburn only wants me dead right now. So you're telling me that these people are just finding out about this just now, and they're realizing all these months that they have been planning without having the frequent fear passes out so that they can actually have the physical plan in place. They're just planning what they're going to do. And for the past how many years has this always been a thing? Now, granted, in recent years, we know, okay, somehow now they sell out fast. So people try to plan around, okay, when will we find out these passes go on sale? Because I want to buy mine with Express Pass, right? A lot of people do that. Now, all of a sudden, they're finding out, hey, guess what? That is not even an option. So many people have reached out to me saying that their entire plans have changed with multiple groups that they were going to go with. A lot of things are moving around. And what many people are upset about is the fact that Universal did not come out and say this months ago. They did not make this announcement months ago when single night tickets and single night express passes went on sale. They did not make this announcement. So the people who would have gotten this pass with the Express Pass are having to realize, wow, this day when we have friends coming over, we're all going to get Express Pass. They have single nights for this day. They have Express Passes. We don't yet because we're waiting for the pass to go on sale with Express because we're going to go other nights and stuff. Those people are realizing, crap, I have to go and get that Express Pass for that night. And guess what? That price for that pass has increased since they were announced months ago. Not only that, some nights are probably close, if not sold out. I don't really know. I didn't do the research on that, so forgive me for that. However, some nights are probably close to selling out compared to when it's the day that they release. So you're having a lot of logistic nightmares for a lot of groups, a lot of locals, but not only locals. I've seen the argument, too, that people make that, oh, this is just a local problem. No, a lot of people from out of town who come for a week or 2 weeks, buy a multi-night pass, and sometimes get Express Pass, and they use their multi-night pass. It's cheaper than buying single night tickets with single night Express Passes. So it's not just a local thing. Mainly, it does hit the hardcore, like, local fans. That is one of the main reasons why I'm upset with Universal, because it's like, why not make this announcement beforehand? Why do we wait so long to sell frequent fear passes? Why is that a thing that they wait so long for? Why can't it be a week after they sell single night passes next week, then do the multi-night passes? The fact that they're months apart is so off-putting to me, because I'm gonna get into some. I'm gonna put this out there. What if they decide, you know what, we don't need to do multi-night passes anymore? And if they don't make an announcement like this, everybody who's waiting for it, and they're like, oh yeah, we're not doing it, by the way. They're like, whoa, I gotta go get single night tickets.
I think
that's sold out. Sorry.
I don't think they care. I think the point of having the frequent fear passes later is so that either they can get more people to buy single nights because they're like, I don't want to wait to get my tickets. Like, I want to like make sure I have them for my vacation, whatever. Or they're waiting to see how many single night tickets they sell to determine how many friggin' fair passes they sell.
In my opinion, I see a lot of people who argue that this is a positive. A lot of them I've been seeing that they're like, oh, Universal made this decision to help us, to help the people who only do like standby and stuff. Look, I love you guys. I don't think that's the case. I don't think this company thought about helping in any way or form when it came to this decision. I think this decision was solely made for a profit. They're looking at money, numbers. That's all they're looking at. Because if they had a decision to make one group happy or the other group happy, one of them is going to get hurt. I don't think they want to get into a debate like that. I don't think they want to step foot into that unless there is a money sign at the other end where they're like, hey, we could make some money off of this. It's fine. I genuinely think what Universal, again, I have so many other things to say, so forgive me if I'm all over the place. I think this decision is made just for the profit that they, and I don't want to call them greedy. I don't want to call them greedy. They're a business. I know. It's a business. I understand it. So I don't want to call them greedy. But the way that they do it, it almost makes me feel like, was this a last minute decision? Was this always in the plans? If this was always in the plans and the works that they were doing, why would you not announce this earlier so that the fans are prepared versus, like, here's the thing. If they announced this back in March, April, whenever the single night tickets and single night express passes went for sale, if they made this announcement then, people are still going to be upset. But at least people feel like they have time to make decisions and plan. But the fact that they waited around the time when everybody right now is expecting the frequent fair passes to go on sale at any minute, and then they're going to be like, by the way, you won't have a chance for express pass, and not even make that a public announcement. It was just caught in a tweet that somebody found and posted out publicly. Like, to me, that's just not how you do it. Especially when you have a fan base as loyal and as hardcore as like HHN fans are to the event. I just don't think that's a good way of doing so, which is why I see it mainly as a negative. Just the way they handle it is just poor. It's just absolutely poor. Now, I'm also going to say this. For people who have lost hope about this, I'm just going to say this too. Because this is not like a grand, big announcement that Universal has made, and maybe this is like the false hope that I'm holding on to, Steph. I'll wait till you kind of lock in here. I know you're typing. Maybe it's a little bit of false hope that I have. This has happened before with Universal, where people who are responding, like Universal team members who are responding to people via Twitter, X, Instagram, whatever, sometimes they have given out wrong information. That has happened before. Maybe that this is also wrong information and like this was never a thing. So I'm holding out hope that that's the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm holding hope, but my worry is though is that this is on such a grand scale, and to see how divided the community is right now, and all this conversation is just about the fast pass or the express passes right now. I think Universal would have made an announcement. I think they would have stepped in the same way that they saw the Stranger Things Lagoon Show. Is it a Lagoon Show kind of situation? And they decided, oh, we're going to go in there and update it and actually say it. I think they would have done the same with this. Because they haven't, makes me think this could be legitimate. But I think it's a decision made because they want money. I think that's how it is. I need to slow down because the heartburn is kicking my butt right now.
Yeah, Diana said it could be.
Read from the comments real quick while I get my next round.
Diana said it could be a decision from the uppers, and I agree. I could totally see a situation where an exec like sees that that Express Pass sold out a few nights, like the overall Express Pass sold out a few nights, saw how expensive a single night Express Pass is versus how much it breaks down to be for a frequent Fair Pass, and was like, wait a minute, why are we even doing this? We would make so much more money if we only sold I can totally
true.
see that happening.
And
then just being like, you need to get rid of those.
Yeah, and I bet you those same people are like, what's Universal Orlando? I've never been. Bet you some of those people are like that. They're like, oh, we've never been to the theme parks. We've never gone to Halloween Horror Nights. I can guarantee that.
I don't know.
So I'm ready for my second half. Well, not the second half. I'm ready for part 2 of my rant. Another thing I want to mention too is that whether you're for this or against this, and I'm speaking against myself on this too, you guys, us two here, the dogs including, none of us actually have physical, factual evidence when it comes to a debate like this. Unfortunately, we don't. I have also seen team members, I love you guys, but I've seen team members comment online about this when they were like, oh, we've worked like Hatchet and Chains or Terrifier or Dolls last year, and we noticed like the express lines were way longer and all that stuff. And it's sitting here and it's like, okay, here's the thing. For us to physically have factual evidence of this, first of all, we'll never have that. Universal's never going to give us those numbers. I wonder even if Universal collectively has all those numbers.
It'd be hard to.
It's a lot. It's a lot, right? Because what you have to take into account for is every single night that the event runs, every single attraction, not only just haunted houses, but also the the rides, the actual attractions like Mummy, Transformers, all that stuff. All those locations, every single night, every single minute, every single hour, you have to keep an update on how many people are going through the house, going through the queue lines, all those moments, express, standby, DAS, AAP, whatever.
I really don't think they're basing it on how long the express lines have been. I don't think they care. Like, as long as
are you talking about the company? I'm talking about I'm talking about just guests. I'm not even talking about the company.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm talking about the company. I don't think it's based on like how long the express lines are. I think it's based on how many express tickets they're selling.
Yeah, I think it's a money thing.
I think if they are not selling frequent fear with express, they now can definitively say, this is how many people are going to have express on this night, so we know we can sell this many more. They can
control the margin more.
Yeah.
They can control it more. I really think Universal looks at Disney and they try too hard to be like Disney when it's like, I'm not going to name the name of this individual, but in a conversation I had within Universal when they were like, we're not Disney. And my response was, exactly, you're not. So stop trying to be like them. Just stop trying to be like Disney. You're not Disney. You're Universal. Hold that proud. I don't know why some of these people in Universal up here are not so proud of that. They keep chasing what Disney's doing when Disney does like a flop and they're trying to go down that path. It's like, no, just stick to what you guys do. There's a reason why you're Universal and they're Disney.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't know why in society, all these companies, corporations, even social media, they all try to be like each other. It's like, just do what made you unique and just stick to it. It works.
I do also think that this could be a play to eventually, if not this year, but eventually implement that Express Now situation, aka Lightning Lane. And
sorry, I look at the chat. I can't even see the chat because there's is that the same one you have? You can close the poll, by the way. I can't see the chat. Yeah. But I see Rollo Tomasi said, damn, just got here. Hey, welcome. This can be a fun life.
Yeah, I do think I could see them moving towards that if they have the technology to implement that. I could see them doing that Express Now thing, and then they definitely make more money doing that, especially if they're selling them at $25 a house a person. And people are more likely to do that. Oh, I'll just buy, I'll budget like 3 houses for the night, instead of buying a full express pass. That's still gonna make them more money than, somebody splitting it up, somebody paying like whatever it is, $20 a night for Express through a frequent fear pass. Unfortunately.
So I'm just like, I have so much I want to say, and I don't want to get too heated about it. But what was I saying before? What was I saying? Oh yeah, about like having factual evidence. Like there's so much variables, so much factors that take place when it comes to like how many people are going through Express, how many people are going through standby on all attractions at every single moment throughout every single night of the event. We speak from our experience. Steph and I's experience that we've had through the Express lines, and again, I just want to let you guys know, last year, we had the Frequent Fear Plus with Express. And the year before that, we only had the Frequent Fear Plus. But we did buy, I think, one night of a Express Pass, one single night of Express Pass. And that's because that night we had the most time to do the event. We had the whole night, and we wanted to do all the attractions because we haven't had a night like that we were able to do. So that was like our night out. So we've done years where we've had Express Passes, and we've done years where we've had no Express Passes, right? From our experience, every time we've done Express Pass, it has never been a bad issue when it comes to the lines. It's never been long, right? I could see the argument from both sides. I can see the people who argue that, you know, having this is a problem and we're happy that it's gone. And we could see the people that are like, this is terrible that they took it away. Why would they do such a thing? Like, I can see both arguments. I don't know why a lot of people, and I want to let you guys know this. I've had people personally come to me in past years saying that they have went to Universal and filed a complaint, complaining that the Express lines are too long when they themselves do not have an Express Pass.
Yeah, but I don't think Universal cares about that.
No, I know. I'm not talking about Universal.
Okay.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the people right now, because I'm talking to the people who are arguing online about one side or the other and all that stuff. Right. I have seen people in past years, not just seen, but I have people come to me and say like they did this because they were like, oh, it's ridiculous and all. And I just want to say, like, I understand being frustrated if you don't have Express and you're in standby and you're constantly seeing Express go and you're just waiting in standby. But I then think going to complain to Universal, not just about how Universal does it, but about the people who can afford it. I just don't think that's great taste. I've seen people argue that, you know, the people who are like saying this is a positive thing. I've seen people say that like, oh, if you're upset about this, then you're just greedy. And it's like, I don't think that's great taste either. Because again, I think Universal has made a decision, and it's the way they made the decision that I think has caused a division within the community, that people are arguing when people should not be arguing with each other, but instead with Universal, period. One thing, like Steph said earlier too, that I'm going to agree with is that, will this actually benefit the standby lines? A lot of people who are arguing saying, yes, this will. They're like, yes, we don't know.
Think so.
We don't. Well, here's the thing. We don't know.
We don't know for sure, but I truly don't think so.
We don't know. That is the only factual evidence we have, is that we don't know. Now, you can give me your opinion all you want. I can give you guys my opinion all I want. Whatever you guys want to do opinion-wise, sure. But we will never know until it happens. And we're going to find out this year. We're going to find out. It could benefit. And if it does, hey, you know what? Sweet. Maybe this was a good thing. What if it doesn't? Because I feel like a lot of the arguments I've been seeing people make saying that, hey, this is a great thing because now standby line is going to be shorter waits. I'm like, but they're not getting rid of Express Pass.
Yeah, I think
Express Pass is still there. And then they argue, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
And then they argue saying, look at Hagrid. See, Hagrid's got rid of Express, and look at the wait times now. There's two things to that. First of all, the crowds that we've had at Islands and Universal in general, especially with the summer, have been lower. They have been a little bit lower. Because of that, the wait times are going to be genuinely down. Not only that, you take into account that Hagrid's took away all Express Passes, so it's only standby. So the line's going to be moving quicker there. However, though, that's not what they're doing at Halloween Horror Nights. There is still Express Passes being sold. If you're looking at 25,000 people, I'm throwing numbers out there, so don't take these numbers like they're facts. I don't know. I'm just throwing scenarios. If there are 25,000 guests that are going to Halloween Horror Nights, right? 25,000 guests. Universal cannot physically control where these people go. If all 25,000 people wanted to go into Jack and Oddfellow's house at the same time, they could. Will it cause a big disruption? Absolutely. Will Universal have to close the line down? Absolutely, yes. But if everybody wanted to gather and start going that way, they can. The same way goes if they limited express passes where frequent fear passes can't have them, and only single night express passes are the only thing being sold. If 1,000 people, I don't know what the number is, I'm just going to throw 1,000, right? If 1,000 people bought express pass for that night and showed up, and let's say me and Steph wanted to go into Jack and Oddfellow's house, right? We're going into their house and we get in the standby and it says a 40-minute wait. However, all 1,000 Express Pass users decide to also get into Express Pass at that same time. It's going to jack the wait time up. So I don't think we can make the art. Now, is that ever going to happen? No, that's not really realistic. However, there are variables that could play out as such. And because of that, I don't think we can sit here and say like it guaranteed it's going to bring the wait times down. I don't think we can guarantee that. I don't. I think the right factors have to play in place for that to be the case. So we can't guarantee that. Again, we don't have physical, factual evidence on any of this. We're just going based off our own experiences. And again, it's one of those things like, can you trust what people are saying? Because I've had people come and tell me outrageous things and vice versa on both sides of the aisle. I've had people tell me that, and it's like you just have to go off of their trust and their word. And I don't think Universal's making a decision based on that. I think they just look at the numbers and say, hey, we could get rid of this and just sell single night express passes and or single night express tickets and get people to buy those more and make more money. Why wouldn't we do that? And I think that's what they're doing. I'm going to take an intermission before the third part.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I was just gonna say I've seen the argument a lot, like, oh, Hagrid's line is a lot shorter, but like you said, they got rid of Express entirely, not just limited it to, you know, people who bought Express Pass for that day. It's not like they just got rid of like hotel guests that have Express and the people who have annual passes and can get it after 4. They got rid of it altogether. So the line is constantly moving. And we didn't go on Hagrid's very much in the last.
I'm so sorry. I really should have like written this down as what I wanted to, because you just reminded me of another thing I forgot to mention.
We haven't gone on Hagrid's much in the last few years because that wait time is scary.
Yeah.
But we have heard a lot of people say they never wait that actual posted amount. It's always way shorter. So is it really that much shorter without Express? Like maybe, but also maybe not. I don't know. I don't think it's going to change the standby lines that much. If you look at how many people are standing in that standby line, it's not going to be 10 minutes. Like it's still going to be very long.
Yeah, there's still the event is just packed, period. The event is just super busy all the time, period. That's just how it's going to be. Another thing that's so unique too, that I feel like is never really discussed much too, is that when it comes to the like the normal attraction that you would find at a theme park, they have a pretty good way to like project and monitor like how fast the crowd's going, how many people they're getting on the ride, vice versa and stuff, because they can control that pretty well. When it comes to an attraction like a haunted house at HHN, there's a lot of different variables that play out that might slow the wait time down. Not speed it up, but slow it down. And the reason being is you do have people that could walk at different pace, different speeds. Steph and I, when we walk in the house, we walk at different pace ourselves. So that just depends. Sometimes you have people who go very fast. You have some people that go very slow. As a former scare actor, there are multiple times where I have scared somebody so good, they refuse to walk. They stop in their tracks, they refuse to go, and it bottles up the line. Just like traffic would on I-4, like it does all the time. One person slows down, another person brakes, and it just causes an effect afterwards. So those are other things that like we can't control, and those are variables. Those things make the wait time go up.
Cast changes. Houses, it rarely happens, but houses going down.
Yeah, rarely that happens, but that's a factor to play into as well. So you have all these different variables and factors that come into why the wait time could go up, go down, even if it was just standby. But again, it's the fact that the event's so popular. I have seen so many people comment saying, you know, they use a lot Terrifier as an example. I've seen online people bring Terrifier as an example where they were like, it's a 100-minute wait. We're just waiting in standby and we're just waiting. We keep seeing Express Line go. Terrifier as an example is hard to choose because it was a very fan favorite house. It was a very sought after house by fans coming to the event. Of course, that house is going to be very popular and have a higher wait time than other houses. You look at Grave of Flesh, for instance. We did standby in Grave of Flesh a couple of times, and we did Express Pass in Grave of Flesh. We've never waited more than 10 minutes when it came to Express Pass for Grave of Flesh, and we've waited around 40 minutes when it came to standby, both times. I think we actually did standby in Grave of Flesh twice. The first time I remember was 42 minutes, and the second time was like 48 minutes. They were both between 40 to 50 minutes for Grave of Flesh in standby. When you go to Terrifier, that was constantly like well over an hour, you know? The longest we waited in Express Pass for Terrifier, I think was around 25 minutes. I think it was like, because I remember that day in Express.
Yeah, like maybe 25 minutes.
Right? Because I remember being in that line when it took that minute. I was watching the Hurricanes football game and they won, which was amazing. But I'm glad because I remember thinking like, oh, 20 minutes until the game is about to end, like looking at the time. And we waited that much until right before we got in the house. So it was around 25 minutes or so that we had. So a lot of the times, again, a lot of arguments that people are bringing, it's like you can't really rely on that as being a good statement because we don't have the numbers. Somebody in Universal has the collective numbers that really gives them a sign if the Express Pass is causing the standby to go yada yada, right? What I mainly want to say is this. Get ready. Tyler Swanson's a Grave of Flesh. Yeah, you remember the house, bud? I like that house. There could have been some work done to it. I thought that house had way more potential. You did great, by the way. Grave of Flesh, I thought had a great facade, by the way, too. Great facade. Okay, so how many years, Stephanie, have I constantly gone to you and say this, whether we have standby or we have express usage? Have I said that Universal's merge, the function of merge, has been terrible?
Yeah.
How long have I been saying this?
Their merge is rough. I think a lot of it is.
Can I get an answer?
I said it's rough.
No, how long have I been saying that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. A while.
Years, right? It's been years.
But I do think a lot of it is because the team members who are working HHN, like, they're brand new to at least that role, to working like that exact house. You know what I mean?
It's not on the team member, more on the policy that the company
I know, but
plays.
Sometimes it is a team member. They're just like,
But I think it's because of the policy they have to follow.
Maybe their ratio is a little off.
One of the biggest things that I have constantly complained to Stephanie about Universal is the way they operate their merge for Express and Standby. Okay, so everybody who's like on the side of like, hey, this is a positive thing that they got rid of this. I'm ready to be on your side now. Get ready. Here we go. So I got some positive stuff for you guys, right? Where I side with you guys. There are so many times that Steph and I have done Express Pass, and I've constantly said to you where I'm like, the amount of people they're allowing in Express Pass to go in front of Standby is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. When it's I'm just going to use these even numbers to make it easier. If an attraction, a haunted house, says it's 100 minutes, it is stated when you buy Express Pass that your wait time will be reduced by half. So technically, that wait time should be 50 minutes. However, we have always found the case to be that our wait times usually reduce by 80%, if not more. We've never had an issue in Express, right? And
so, Go ahead.
Oh, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so technically they could like hold Express there for a little bit longer than what they do when there's like 10 people in the Express line, and instead of letting more of the standby through, because the Express people obviously are not waiting any more than,
yes,
a handful of minutes.
Yes.
They let the Express through.
My problem has been, as an Express Pass purchaser when it comes to Frequent Fear Pass, as somebody who has done that for so many years, I have always stated that the way Universal trains their team members and the way that they have like their policy in place for their ratios at merge is awful. It is terrible. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this. I don't know if I've said this on the live stream or anything. I used to work at Disney before, and my job at Disney was I was a cast member. I was at the Haunted Mansion back in the day, long time ago. Used to work at Haunted Mansion, and one of my favorite like positions was merge, because the way that I
that's
did
everybody's
it,
least favorite.
the way that I did it is what made sense. Now, it's a little slightly different talking Haunted Mansion as it is for a single line attraction like a haunted house. Haunted Mansion, you kind of fill everybody in and they kind of funnel themselves. Whereas here at HHN, you have everyone in a single line and they kind of go, right? What I've always believed is that as an Express Pass user, I know my wait time is going to be reduced by half, right? So if it's 100 minutes, I should be expecting 50-minute wait. When it's less, hey, awesome, great, win for me. But when I'm noticing, hey, out of that 100 minutes, I'm only waiting 10 minutes, but I'm noticing that the express line that I'm in, when I get to the back of it, should be about 25 minutes, but they're constantly just letting tons of us go in. I see all the standby people. I see you standby people. I see you guys.
Same, getting pissed.
I see how pissed off you guys get. And I feel so bad for you guys because I genuinely look at it. And there's times when we've gotten to that merge person, I'm saying, you can let some standby go. Like, I should be waiting 30 more minutes than what you are completely doing for us right now. Hey, I appreciate it. But I see how it does bother the people who, when you're in standby, I feel so bad because we've been on this receiving end too. When you're like 8 people away from getting past the merge point in standby, you could potentially get stopped 2 or 3 times. And that could take like 10 minutes in itself just to be 8 people away. We have had a case where this was back in, oh my gosh, it was Descendants of Destruction. And we did standby one time. And we were like 15 people away from getting past the merge part in standby. And we kept getting stopped every group for 20 plus people in Express. And the Express line, what's crazy, it didn't wrap around. It was just like one straight shot of like maybe 40 people that you saw, which is like a 5 to 10 minute wait. Yeah. And they constantly let that go. But when people are constantly coming into Express, they just keep looking at that line and they keep trying to completely fill that away. Or what's the other word besides fill? Clear. Thank you.
I also think that part of the reason why they do that is because the single night Express passes are so expensive. They're like, we don't want people paying $400 for an Express pass and then not getting what they paid for.
No, I get that. But again, when they market and saying, hey, your wait time will be reduced by half, and they're actually, instead of 50%, it's like 80%, they're benefiting big time. Which, hey, great, you're paying the money. But again, that is a huge difference in margin when standby is suffering that extra 30%. What I believe, the way that they should have done this, and what's crazy to me is that Universal can actually physically experiment with this. They can run experiments with these numbers to see if it works or not. I don't know why they don't. Well, I know why they don't, because it costs them money to do this. Anyways, go ahead. What I wish they would do is when they open the house up, one of the main things that they do is they allow standby and they allow Express to just fill the line. Let a group, let a group, let a group, let a group. And it is the team member's job at the merge point to keep an eye on that line that is filling up behind them getting into the house. It is their job to manage that, right? Again, I'm speaking from experience of working a point as such. It's their job to do so. What would be nice is if they realize, okay, out of this line that I have here that's filling up behind me, once it gets to this certain point where I realize I can only probably fit about 3 groups more, right? So about 10 people or so. I can fit just 3 more groups in that line until the point where it gets pretty filled and I can't fill anybody else in. That's when they should stop the lines and then just do Express. How many is in your group? 4, go. How many is in your group? 2, go. Okay, stop here. They can bring like 2 more groups from Express. Once that line starts moving, you look at Express, you say, how many is in your group? 4, go. Express, hold. Standby, how many is in your group? 6, go. Express, 4. 3 in standby. Keep going until it gets to that point in the line where you realize, okay, it's slowing down. I need to stop the lines, and then I'll let one more express pass go. In that way, you're getting a constant flow, a more steady flow in standby than you are currently with their ratios of whatever they've been doing. I've seen different team members say their ratios are 100 to 25. I've seen people say 100 to 10, depending on the house, depending on the night. Disney, I know Disney had different ratios. They had different tiers, tier 1, 2, and 3. It was like green, yellow, and red. If you were in red, you were letting like one guest in from standby for every like 40 guests in fast pass, express pass, whatever you want to call it, in that line. So they have different tiers. I'm assuming Universal has different tiers. If not, they just use the same tier all the time. Hornites is like basically tier 3 every single night. Don't you agree? Good. Thank you. Glad you agree. So I wish that they went ahead and flowed both lines more until that line getting to the house is filled up to a point where they have to close it off and allow maybe 1 or 2 groups from Express. Once it starts moving again, keep going back and forth to keep that steady flow. The Express lines, they're usually on average like 20 minutes at max for a very busy night and stuff. Sometimes
and only once you get past the merge.
Yeah. And yeah, the main part is like getting past the merge. So I wish that they went ahead and they did something different when it came to the merge to help speed up the standby line and get it moving. Because even if it's 80 minutes and there's no express line, 80 minutes is 80 minutes. People see the wait time, they know what they're getting into. The problem is when you get into a line that says 80 minutes and you're just not moving for like 5 minutes and then you take a few steps and then you stop. That sucks. We know how that feels.
That's like I-4 traffic.
That's I-4. We know how that feels. That sucks. I wish they found a way to get that line where it was constantly just, even if it was like every 30 seconds, there's like a shuffle and a shuffle. If the line feels like it's constantly moving, it doesn't feel as long as when people stop for minutes at a time. And then they just look over and they see the express line where it's just constantly going and it's not that filled up. So I feel like the merge needs to be fixed. I feel like Universal can run an experiment. Yes, it's going to cost them money, but stop crying. Pay the money, right? And get people out there and experiment and find what is the most optimum way to run Express Pass and Standby so that both people are happy. Again, I think we have benefited a lot having Express, where it has not been half the wait time like they told us it would be. It's been much less.
Yeah, we've seen people say, even Shanna said that she waited for Insidious in Express for 45 minutes when the posted wait time was 80. But I really don't think we've ever waited in a standby line longer than 30 minutes. Maybe Dr. Oddfellows one time randomly was like
for
not
Express
moving. Yeah.
So the longest we ever waited was 37 minutes. And this was Chucky. When we did Chucky,
oh, yeah.
Chucky was 37 minutes and it was a 95-minute posted wait. So we didn't even get to what was advertised half wait time. It was still technically shorter. So we got our money's worth because we did not have to wait 95 minutes. We only waited 37 minutes. And it felt really bad too when we got done with the house and realized it was not worth 37 minutes.
I did, yeah.
But
I did.
That's different.
It was also the end of the night. We were tired. I think we got rained on that day. You're not.
Yeah.
That's it. I will also say it's way back there, but I think D. Diggles had said something about just making the event 18 plus. That would help. We get rid of some people, a lot of people.
Another thing to talk about is instead of getting rid of Express Pass, let's talk about what is actually the capacity of Halloween Horror Nights. How many people are actually attending? I feel like it's increased.
It's a lot.
But not only that, general theme parks, in order to help with crowd management, you usually create more offerings that are crowd eaters. It's what you're supposed to do to take that crowds away so they're not just all shuffling around. I feel like Halloween Horror Nights could do a lot more. Why is not every attraction opened at HHN? Why is every attraction not open for HHN?
Labor costs.
Of course, it's a money thing, of course. But why don't they have that? That would help ease with crowds in other areas. I personally feel like they can do more houses. Again, I know it's a little more difficult than just like, do more houses. But I feel like they could. If they wanted to, they can. I also think Street experiences, I feel like they've been trying to do more, and I think it has helped. I think people are starting to go around. The fact that they brought the chainsaw carnies back into Springfield, I think has helped in that area too. So I feel like the more that you offer at an event, the more people are able to be dispersed.
Yeah, I think having more attractions open would be way easier for them than opening like one more house. Because the rides are already there. And you have the team members that already work there and already trained and everything. You just have to see if you have enough people that are willing to work like HHN nights. I'm sure there's plenty of people that want more hours. So I feel like having more rides open would definitely help. It's like when we went to Hollow Scream. Is that Busch Gardens?
Yes. Well, I mean, Hollow Scream, Busch Gardens, or SeaWorld. Which one?
Oh, yeah, Busch Gardens. Well, I guess either one. But when we went to Busch Gardens, I think we had already gotten through the houses. So we were like, let's just go on the rides. And we did a bunch of rides. And that was fun. I feel like they could definitely have more rides open. And it would help. But they also could limit the amount of tickets that they sell or who the event is open to.
It's a tough conversation because I think when we start getting into like limitations, you're going to affect groups. You are. I mean, look at what happened with this Express Pass thing with freaking Fear Passes. Like it's affecting a group. It does affect a group. I don't think either side of this coin can actually present factual evidence that will help their case in this argument, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't think we have access to
we just
that
have
evidence.
To see how it plays out.
We have to see how it plays out. But the people who are saying that this is a positive and it's going to shorten the wait times, we don't know. We don't know. And because we don't know that, I look at the people who are affected by this and I'm like it does suck for those people, because that's the only facts that we have, is that you're not going to be able to do what you have been doing so many years and stuff. Like that has been taken away. And I've noticed in past years, we've talked about this so many years now, that Halloween Horror Nights has taken away more than they have added, but has charged us, more increments and stuff year after year. And that's where the conversation comes up of, well, because of that, lines are getting a little bit longer because there's not many offerings as there once was. There's not many crowd eaters as there once was. I do think this year we're at a point where we're getting back.
We're getting back to that, yeah.
But you got to remember, like Fast and Furious is taking over Rip Ride Rocket. Rip Ride Rocket is not in use. That was a last year issue too. If we had Rip Ride Rocket operating during HHN last year, Rip Ride Rocket could get up to 20 minutes to 60 minutes of wait time. That could eat away at a good amount of crowd. Imagine getting that much people from the event and put them into that attraction. We didn't have that last year. We don't have that this year. When is Fast and Furious closing this year?
I don't remember.
Fast and Furious Supercharged. Now, that doesn't matter because usually Fast and Furious is closed during the event. But that's another location that could eat the crowd if they found a way logistically to even make that work. It'd be very hard. I don't even think they could. But it's like they're taking away things.
August 16th.
August 16th. So that'll be completely closed before HHN starts. Again,
it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter because in that case, it's not operating during the event. But it's like you have scenarios like that. Like, for instance, do they have ET operating at all this year? Probably not. Why not? Why couldn't they have ET?
Simpsons. Like, you could have ET, you could have Simpsons, you could have...
But see, with Simpsons, now they put the queue line in the Simpsons attraction.
But they don't have to.
That's my point, is I feel like there are better ways to find crowd eaters. Now, I will say, I do like the queue line being in Simpsons.
Yeah.
If Simpsons is not going to be open, I do like the queue line being in Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
But if they found another place to put the queue line and they were also able to have Simpsons open, it's going to eat more crowd.
Could they have Transformers? Is that normally open?
Yeah, but that closes early in the night. Transformers usually closes early. I think same with Gringotts. Gringotts closes earlier in the night too. Chat, am I wrong about that? Yeah, Shannon also said, I saw Rip Ride Rocket at 75 minutes in 2024, and that was longer than any of the houses.
I don't think it would really make sense for the Minion rides to be open, but they could technically open those.
Yeah, and again, it's like, why not? Those will eat. Back in the day, when I went to Halloween Horror Nights in 2014, Minions was open. I remember doing Minions at night during HHN. That was our only time to do that ride. We didn't have time during the day. We went and did Minions at night. I remember when Diagon Alley in London was a Stay and Scream location back in 2014, right? So it's like, you look at the way layouts and logistics were, it's like we don't really have more. If not, we have less in a way, right? So it's like those are opportunities to eat the crowd away, to help with those standby lines and express lines that they just don't have. But I feel like the event has gotten busier.
Oh,
now,
for sure.
Is it the event is getting busier, or is it the fact that because we have less opportunities for people to go and do things, that we're finding more of those people to be cluttered around?
It's getting busier. It's social media.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, Tyler Pugh said midnight most of the time. Yeah, Transformers and I think Gringotts close at midnight.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they kept up islands open till midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah, islands should be
nights.
closed. I mean, 11 p.m. It'd be cool because they're back in the day. We haven't done
We
this
used
in a
to park
minute.
hop,
We used to go for Stay and Scream
do Velocicoaster.
at Universal. We'd go to Stay and Scream at Universal, do a ride or two, and then when the event is opening up and it's like 7, 8 o'clock, we'd hop over to Islands before they closed at like 9, 10 o'clock. It was usually around 10 o'clock. And we'd go do Velocicoaster and walk around. 9:30 before Islands closed, we'd go back to Universal for like an hour to do a house or two and then leave.
That was when we didn't have Express.
Yeah, and that was fun.
We can't do that this year.
There's a lot of things we can't do
You
this year.
guys, I think the thing that I miss the most being pregnant is going on roller coasters. It's really tough. I can't go on anything. It sucks.
I want to bring this up real quick. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Anyway, that was fun. We used to park hop over to Islands and do Velocicoaster and then come back while the crowds were like super busy.
I want to bring this up. We talked about this earlier too. Ace Territory said, I think a great people eater would be if they overlay Bourne for HHN. They have nothing to offer, which is the problem. And that's something where we talked about too, where it's like they have all these locations that like, why don't they open up the horror makeup show? Like, I feel like they could use for Halloween Horror Nights, right? Granted, yes, I know there's there's construction going on with it. I get it. Bourne stage is a little different, but I feel like they could still make this work. Why don't they use the stage for something else? Now, I'm not saying have Bourne running. Don't have the show Bourne. Have something Halloween Horror Nights-esque in the Bourne stunt show. Even if that's a simple like video they play on the screen that's Halloween Horror Nights old commercials, it's something that somebody's going to go in and do. It's going to take somebody off the streets or street of Universal Orlando. Streets or street. It's going to take them off and put them in this location. I know for a fact. Again, it's so hard because Stephanie's pregnant this year. The way we do things is going to be very different than we've ever done before. So that's why I'm not picking a side of whether I'm for or against this. I'm not wanting to visibly pick a side. I want to argue for both sides because I don't think we can really speak on this. Again, nobody has factual evidence. But when we go to Halloween Horror Nights, if they had the Bourne stunt show open and they were just playing like old HHN commercials or they had something HHN related in there, I'm sure Steph and I would get out of the heat, get away from the crowds, go into the show, sit down in the chair, take a break, and watch. I'm sure a lot of people would do that. One thing Halloween Horror Nights lacks in big time is what?
Ice.
I mean, yes, actually, yes. Their soda machines, like, they never have ice in them. But one thing Halloween Horror Nights really lacks in is seats. Like sitting. You're constantly on your feet walking around. There's barely anywhere that you can really just sit down. And having a place like the Bourne show or the horror makeup show, like an indoor air-conditioned place for people to sit and like kind of relax, would be really nice. It would be. Now, I'm not telling them to do what Disney would do and take away a beloved attraction just to fill in for a Disney Vacation Club seating area so they can get popcorn in a magnet. I'm not talking about that crap. I'm talking about something that benefits the crowds where people can go watch, show something, a Halloween Horror Nights offering that's NAC, that would bring crowds from the street or streets of Universal into the place. Same way that I feel like they need to open more attractions and do that. By doing that, you're going to help alleviate the crowds for Standby and Express. That and the way that merge is done, I think, are the two biggest things that I feel like Universal could have worked on before making a move like this.
Yeah.
And because of that, it makes me feel like they did not make this decision to help the people who only do Standby. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think that's why they made the decision. I think it's solely just for money. I think they realize, hey, if we get rid of this and sell single night tickets, I'm sure we can get some of those people who buy Freedom Fear with Express to come on over here and spend more money buying multiple single night Express passes. I will say this, as a couple who constantly thinks throughout our year, because again, I still have so much to talk about. I'm going to try to keep it very short because I know we're getting late here and my butt hurts. I'm going to say this. We always save up for Halloween Horror Nights. That is like our trip of the year. We usually save a lot of money throughout the year so that we can buy a frequent fear pass with Express. That is our vacation, right? We love HHN so much. Year after year, we always decide, hey, do we want to buy a frequent fear pass with Express or without Express? We're always talking about that every single year. Why? Because it is expensive. It is. I think we spent like $2,000 last year on that. Nico, hey, over here. Don't go over there. That's so cute. What were you doing? You just like fitting your head through the cable there. That is a decision that we try to make every single year. Hold on one second. Hondo, no, Nico, lay down. All right, lay down, guys. Lay down. Good boy, you're good. Hondo, go lay down. Hondo, why do you make the bed so messy? How do you do that? Do you see all the pillows everywhere?
Yeah.
Guy's crazy. He also, like, Hondo, like, is the most comfortable looking sleeper there has ever been. Nobody sleeps as good as Hondo does.
It's cozy.
Back to what I was saying, though. We always try to make a decision if we're going to do Express Pass or not. And we usually always tend on doing Express Pass. When Horror Nights does something like this, and they're like, hey, we're going to try to do this so we can make more money on single night expresses, we look at it and we're like, well, thanks, Universal, because now you made the decision for us. We're not going to get Express Pass because it's not a decision. We're not going to spend money on a single night express. We're not going to spend more money than we would with a better benefit than getting a less of a benefit. We're not going to do that. You know, we'll wait and stand by with everybody else. That's what we're going to do. We're going to spend less. I also like to make an argument, too, that I noticed a lot of people argue that people who come and visit for like 1, 2, 3 nights spend more money than people who buy like annual passes or frequent fear passes. I don't think that's the case when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights. I know a lot of people who buy frequent fear passes, whether they're out of state and traveling or they live locally, especially the locals, because the argument's usually always against the locals. I know a lot of people who are locals who buy a frequent fear pass, ultimate frequent fear pass with Express, spend well over $1,000 just on their ticket, go 20 plus nights to the event, buy food every single time they're there, which the food is not cheap, it's expensive. Buy drinks. We know drinks are also expensive if you get alcoholic drinks and beverages if you're 21 or older. We know those are expensive, and they buy the merch. So I would argue that your locals who go all out, hardcore fans that are spending, you know, the highest ticketing package they can get, the ultimate frequent fear, or even just frequent fear with Express, who go 10, 20 nights to the event. Like, we usually go about 10 nights to the event, 10, 15 nights we go to the event. We've had events that we've gone 20 plus nights. We know people who have gone 30 plus nights to the event. These people are spending a lot of money. Every time they go, they usually spend money. So I don't know why there's an argument saying like, oh, but the people who go for like 2 nights, they also pay for hotels, they pay for flights. Flights are not going to Universal. Traveling expenses are not going to Universal. It's hotel, tickets, and then food and merch there. Some people who live here, like us, pay for a night at a hotel. We're like, we're going to do a night at Sapphire Falls, and then we're going to go to HHN, so when we're done, we can go back to Sapphire Falls that night. We get Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass. We get with Express Pass. We go ahead and get merch. We get food. I'd argue that the locals do spend as much money as people who travel out for this.
The only thing I'll argue with is the merch.
Well,
We don't really.
we
buy merch.
personally don't really. We think the merch at HHN's kind of.
Well, just at the parks. We just
Well, in general.
like
But
the clothing to feel a certain way.
yeah, the quality ain't really there. So, anyways, I have many more things to say. I'm not going to get into all of it because I noticed we are over 2 hours, and I don't want you sitting in the chair too long.
I also think that a lot of maybe this is just us and like other people that we know, but I think a lot of locals who get frequent fare with Express, they're first of all not going every single night, and the nights that they do go, they're not going from open to close. You're like, for us, we're going in maybe doing 2-3 houses and then leaving.
We're going for like 3 hours.
So
2 to 3 hours.
it's not like we are like taking up that space in a line the entire night, every single night. Like somebody who is spending $400 on an express pass, they're probably going from open to close and doing every house.
A single night express.
Yeah, what did I say?
Yeah, you said
Oh,
just buying the express
Yes.
pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to read this. Tyler Pierce said, I went 20 to 25 nights, did all 10 houses 2 times with my frequent fare pass plus express.
yeah. I think we only did all 10 houses maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, we have. Do you still have the notes on that too? There's sometimes we've done a few houses that are like within 3 attempts, and we had express. And we would only do like a house sometimes with just express. You don't have to pull it up, but I know you have notes of it, is what I'm saying, right?
There were definitely a few houses that we were like, oh, well, by the end of the event, we were like, we only did that like 4 times.
Yeah. Nico, stop that. Leave that alone. So again, it's for the people who think this is a win and it's a positive. I get it. I can see this. For the people who think this is a negative, I get it. I can see that.
We only did 5 nights twice.
5 Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, we only did 5 Nights at Freddy's twice.
Terrifier, we only did 3 times.
Yeah.
Same with Fallout.
And do you have how many nights we went to the event? Was there nights on that one or no?
16.
Yeah, 16 nights, and we just did those houses twice.
Mhm.
So my point is this: none of us have factual evidence to make the argument for either side. However, there is one side that is getting a hit. There's no side that can argue that they're getting a benefit because we don't know. We'll find out. And if so, then those people can argue that and keep that argument. But we don't know that yet. So I feel like that argument can't be made right now because we're not sure. Because they can make that argument if they were getting rid of Express Pass completely. But Express Pass still exists. There's still going to be people that buy Express Pass. People have already bought Express Pass. The question is, how many Express Passes is Universal selling? What is their actual limit to that? I don't know. I don't think we'll ever really know. Somebody knows in Universal. There's got to be somebody. But we'll never know. And I feel like, I don't think this is going to be a permanent change. Universal, although I've been dogging on them recently, I will say Universal does have some bright minds in there. And when they do these things, if it works, they'll keep it. If it doesn't work, they'll change it. I don't think Universal is like too prideful to like not change something back if it's not working.
Yeah.
It's happened before. Theme parks do that. They listen to the community. They do listen to you guys. Now, listening doesn't mean that they're going to take action, though. They can listen, be like, yeah, I hear you. But they may not do anything about it. But if it's not showing them any like visible wins as far as like money goes and the way that what is it called? In our location, we call it GSAT, guest satisfaction. And it's like our guest service action team that we have and stuff. I don't know what Universal calls theirs. But if it's hurting them so much where they're realizing they're getting so many complaints and they're not making anything much as far as profit goes with Express Pass ticket sales, they could go back. Because they might be like, actually, we'll make the same, if not a little bit more, going back this way, and it's going to benefit people. We might as well do that. If they see that with numbers, they'll do that. They definitely will. But currently that's what it seems like is happening, is that no express pass with frequent fair passes for this year. I'm actually interested to see what that will do. We've been worried about this for some time because I know rumors been circulating. We've talked about that because I've realized for many, many years now, Universal, Orlando, and Hollywood, they've been kind of merging a lot lately. Disney did this a lot like years ago, years ago, where they merged both coasts a little bit. And it wasn't so positive. And so in certain departments, things you probably don't even know about. But I'm worried that like Universal was going to take this route with HHN. And it seems that's the case, that they look at Hollywood and they're doing something like Hollywood's doing, where it's just frequent fair passes and no express pass. However, another thing I want to mention too before I forget, I know I've been talking a lot, guys. I do apologize. This is more of a rant live stream for me than anything. Nico, why'd you have to get up for that? You're okay. You're okay, dude. The one thing I want to mention. No, hold on. Let me move this. I know you want to come over here on this side. I understand. One of the main things I want to mention is, why is it that HHN Hollywood post their standby wait time and their express pass wait time, but Universal Orlando does not do that?
Yeah, I've always wondered that.
Why does Universal Orlando not post their express pass wait time? I feel like that would help clear some information too for people. Every time we go to Hollywood, the express pass wait time is like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and they don't have express pass. They don't have express pass as an add-on with their frequent fair pass. But the standby wait time, Nico, leave that. Their standby wait time is like 100 minutes for some attractions, for some houses, 120. When we did Hollywood back in 23, when they had The Last of Us,
kept closing the house. You couldn't even wait in line if you wanted to.
Yeah, it was at capacity. But when it reopened and stuff, their express pass line was 20 minutes. But the standby line was 120. So it's like, it's still a long wait. And I think because the way haunted house structures, as far as the way people go through an experience, is so different than an actual attraction, like a ride. It's so different because it's not on a time format. It's not where people get loaded into a vehicle and the vehicle takes off and they can time how fast they can average get people through. Through houses, you have people who go through at faster, slower paces. You have different variables. People who get scared, line stop, cast changes. So many different things happen to a haunted house that increase the wait rather than shorten the wait. So anyways, with that being said, I know you guys have been chatting a lot. I know you guys are in the chat and commenting. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've looked at the chat once in the last 30 minutes. So I'm going to ask you guys a favor, and I apologize. If you guys could, please place a 1 to 2 sentence comment, your opinion on what you feel about this. Are you guys for this change? Are you guys against this change? Are you guys indifferent? And can you give me a 1 to 2 sentence reason as to why? And I'm just going to try to read that. And I will not talk for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to do my best. Well, if I talk, it might.
Silence.
No. I'll read some of the comments. I want to read some of your comments out loud. So if you can go ahead and put that in. I'm not going to say my opinions. I think I've said plenty. Even though I still have like 3 more major bullet points that I want to talk about, I won't because we're late into this live. But I want to read some of y'all's comments on what you think. So if you guys can, in the chat, 1 to 2 sentences as to why you guys are for this, against this, or indifferent. I'd love to know, and I'm going to read them out. Also, Mr. Disney King said there was a world before frequent fair pass with the Express, and there will be a world after. Yep, we will all be fine. 100% true. We're going to be fine. It's just a theme park. It's just a spooky event. So you're right. But here's the thing. To your comment, there was a world before frequent fair pass with Express. There was a Halloween Horror Nights before that ticket option was even a thing. However, the event wasn't as busy.
It was not as busy.
But even with that, lines were still long. So I wonder what it would look like. Let's see. Oh. I look away for 1 second and I miss like 10 comments. Okay.
Ace said, indifferent. My wife and I don't get express passes and go 20 plus nights, but we understand both sides and hope that this decision leads to something that will be good for all of the parties. So that's the way you should look at it, instead of like we're just what is like hoping for the best, but not being like haha, now you guys can't get express pass.
I was like, what side are you talking about? Because like the people, again, I see people who are celebrating this, and I'm like, guys, like we can't celebrate something that we don't know the effect of. We can assume that it's going to help, and I hope, oh my gosh, I hope it does. Even though, I'm like, dang, we don't have an option for express pass every night when we go, but I look at it as like, hey, if this benefits the event overall, why would I be against that?
Yeah, it does. But there are some people that are giving just a little bit, I can't have it, so I don't want you to either.
I've seen some comments online where people are like, oh, we can't afford Express and we never look at Express. So like, screw you guys who get Express. Like, this is great. I'm like, that's not nice. Like, come on.
McBain said indifferent because I always just go like 2 nights with Express or do RAP tour. Yeah.
Yep. Wait, finish. And then go back to Pennsylvania tired and broke.
Yes.
That's the important part. Let's see. Tyler Pugh said it is likely extremely negative and will not benefit anyone at all other than UO themselves. Tyler, I think you're
Most
heated
likely.
about this. I agree. Also, is this the Tyler Pugh? There's only one Tyler Pugh I know. Is that the Tyler Pugh?
I can't tell from the picture.
I know I can't tell. Everybody's profile picture should just be a different animal. I want to make this change. I'll even change our channel banner to an animal. But Tyler, man, it's like what I like am so bummed about is like the stuff that I know internally with Universal and the conversations I've heard from the people who make decisions, like genuinely make me want to like move to Alaska. And I'm not saying Alaska's bad. Hold up, sorry. I'm not saying Alaska's bad. I just really love Alaska, and their decisions make me go like, you know what, Alaska sounds even better now.
Demon Scorn said, I would like to see how it actually affects the full outcome of the event before knowing if it is a good change or a bad change.
Agreed.
I agree.
It's also a decision like this on an anniversary year where you expect hardcore fans to show up. Again, the way that they did it and how they're doing it to me is my biggest problem. D Diggles, I think you have probably the best name that I've seen of the night. I could care less. There's going to be lines either way. Buddy, lay down. Are you muted? Oh, got you. Nico, lay down, buddy. Lay down. There you go. We're almost done, kid. Yeah, D Diggles, like, I know you. He said, I could care less. There's going to be lines either way. I think there's going to be lines either way. Whether there's Express or not, I think the crowds are just at a level that is just so busy. We're going to face wait times. As my dad has always famously said, you know, when you go to the theme parks, you hurry up to wait. That's what you do. Hurry up to wait. All right. Casey Corona said, indifferent, mostly because, to be honest, it doesn't affect us because we have single night Express. However, can also see reasons both would feel how they do. And, you know, this is what's crazy. The people, Casey, right? You feel indifferent. Why? Because it doesn't affect you. The people who this affects are looking at this as negatively. Yes. The people who doesn't affect either look at this as positively or indifferently. Yeah. And it's crazy because, again, I constantly bring up that conversation of neither side can provide factual evidence if this would be a positive or a negative at the event. It's just based on your own personal experience and what you're going through, especially with your planning process and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for us, it does affect us in a negative way just because of the way we do HHN, how we go about it. It's going to determine on if we can even go to the event some nights to do houses or not. But again, this is a very weird situation because we're pregnant this year and it's different.
Yeah, but even before, like, we have dogs and stuff, like there are some nights where we would look at the wait times and be like, there's no point in us even going, like, without Express.
Yeah.
Universal State of Mind said, if we see this help the standard line time go down, I think everyone will enjoy the event a bit more. I sprung for one night with RAP tour and a standard night, no Express.
Yeah, I agree with you. Universal State of Mind. If we see it help the event overall, especially like the wait time go down, I think that's a win.
I just don't.
But we don't.
Yeah. We don't know, but I also can't imagine where it would help the standby line enough to where all the people who are missing out on Express are like, this is fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just don't see that happening.
that's true. Let's see. D Diggles, do an RIP tour and Premium Scream Night if you want premium experience.
We would do that if we were coming for 2 nights, but we live here. We come
Yeah.
multiple nights.
We look at it as,
so we can't do that every night.
yeah, we look at it as like, because we're local, like we wouldn't spend money on doing like a premium Scream Night. Again, money's really tight for us. We have a baby on the way. You know, money's tight. So like doing RIP or premium Scream Night where they're like, how much is a premium Scream Night? Like a $400 ticket a night thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, should Steph and I spend $800 for one night of HHN or spend $1,500 for 40 nights of HHN? Probably going to go ahead and do the 40 nights thing, right? And I'm just throwing numbers out there. I don't really have the numbers on that. But as locals, we pick the multi-night pass versus doing like RIP or premium Scream Night, just for the fact of we're not here on vacation. Like a lot of people who come down and they vacation, they don't have to worry about work. They're here to enjoy their time and go on vacation. As locals, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I work all those days in the week. They change, they interchange depending on what we have, especially with our wedding business, things change. So we usually buy these multi-night passes to allow us when we're like, hey, we do have free time today, we can go and do this. Or, hey, we realize we have free time this Thursday, we can go to the event, which is why we go ahead and buy that. It's harder for us to allot the time off. So we just do the multi-night pass because we don't like plan out for a trip like this unless we decide to go to Hollywood. We go out there. When we went to Hollywood, we bought 2 single night tickets with 2 express passes for those nights that we went. Well, actually, we did 1 night of express. No, we did 2 nights of express when we went to Hollywood. I think we did.
No, just 1.
Was it just 1?
Just 1. It was a little too expensive. The second night we did a
that is
few
the 2
houses.
p.m. No, it was. We weren't gonna do express, but we did do express the first night, and then when we got there the second night, I called. They didn't have express pass available, but they had the 2 p.m. entry without express. And that's what we did, so we could do the studio tour, the tram, during the day. That's what it was. So we only had 1 night express, 1 night without. Okay, I'm remembering.
Because that's why the second night we did like a few houses, but
We did
didn't
4
really.
houses, if that, the whole night, and then just spent time in the scare zone. Yeah,
The lines were too long.
lines were long. But yeah, that's why we don't do like premium Scream Night. Let's see. Double Creep Theater said, "It is what it is." The most factual comment that could be said. It's true. Or at least getting 2 nights of express either way. We'll have more time for the other experiences and in all caps, food.
Need an express line for the food.
Food. It's important. Let's see. Fred Leggett said, "I was thinking of treating myself this year and getting Ultimate Frequent Fear with Express, but that ain't happening." Fred, it's because you wanted to treat yourself. They said no. Mr. Disney King said, "Na na na boo boo." LOL. Let's see. Jorge Blanco Vlog said, "Going to Horror Nights with multiple groups, and so many of my friends want to go with Express, and instead of paying for multiple weekends of single night plus Express, Frequent Fear plus Express would help me with my costs." I know too many people who were planning with multiple groups. Even in our Discord, we had somebody that was waiting, and they had multiple people that they were trying to coordinate this with, and they're like, "We're gonna do multiple nights with Express, like doing all this," and with this announcement, that changes their plans completely. And trying to get multiple groups, if you don't live in the same house, you're getting friends and you're all traveling, you're going here and you're like trying to do Express and all that, trying to then buy them individually and figure out which nights you're going to do and all that, that's hectic. So it's scary. Let's see. Rollo Tomasi said, "I think it's a shame for the people who are used to getting Frequent Fear Pass with Express, but also seems like you would potentially have shorter Express lines and make more money per guest with Express." Yeah, again, it is a shame for the people who usually do this. And I know I'm saying that as somebody who usually does this, but I'm playing devil's advocate on both sides. There's only one side that is having a negative, and there isn't a positive to any other side yet. We don't know until the event happens. We'll find out. But I do think this is a move by Universal for more money. Ace Territory, I don't think this decision is necessarily good for both parties, but I'm sure this isn't the last change, and I think eventually, with the right leadership, it can get to a good place. I think you probably mentioned one of the most important things. You said, think eventually with the right leadership. That word, leadership. Leadership stuff. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. Toby said, shout out to the Mansion Butler, Brian. I work at Mansion now. Toby's sweet. Mansion Butlers. Yeah. Oh, if you guys didn't know, yeah, I work Haunted Mansion, right? At Disney. My signature is in the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World. Somewhere, if you guys can find it. Let's see. Jennifer Cop Show said, I hope I said that right. Jennifer said, upset at the way it came out. Agreed. I already emailed Universal to let them know and give them options of other things to give or offer with passes. I don't normally like to complain unless I give solutions. I like that, Jennifer. I respect that. And again, I want to say I'm happy with everybody being respectful in the chat so far. I appreciate you guys. Again, we're all going to have different opinions on this. Shanabelle said, I am okay with this decision. I don't get frequent fear with Express. The standby wait times aren't as bad as people make them out to be. They could have announced it better, though. Again, I think the announcement could have been better, though. And I do see people who are like usually fine with this are the ones that don't get Express, so it doesn't bother them, it doesn't affect them. And to Shanna's point, the standby wait times aren't as bad as people make them out to be. I agree with you, but they also are pretty bad.
I just think people are overestimating how much this will affect the standby lines. I really don't think it's going to very much.
Yeah. We'll see. What if it's worse? Then it's like,
I don't think that's possible.
What do you do? Yeah. Let's see. Ace Territory said, people need to remember we all love the event and want to enjoy it the way we prefer or can enjoy it. Even though I don't get it because I go so much, 100%, if I budgeted the money, I would get it. Yep. Let's see. Tyler Pugh 93 said, not hitting really. I just understand the reasoning. The fact that it's not going to exist doesn't bother me. I can just get Express. I'm simply bothered by the motive. Thank you. Yes. It's the way that it's done. It's how they do it. And now, granted, I'm not going to dog Universal on this because I haven't seen anything from Universal's end, but I've seen people who said that this is a positive. They're like, thank you, Universal, for listening to us fans. Guys, I don't think they are listening to you. I don't think this is why they did it. I think it's a money decision. So I don't want people to think like this is for them. I think Universal just did this for the money. And the question is, we're going to find out if this works or if it doesn't in favor for the event. We're going to find out. We'll see. But I just think, again, the way that they did it was a little shady in my opinion. I don't think it's well received. I don't think it's good. And again, it's something that the company does, and then it causes the community to split and butt heads. And it's like a community should never have to do that when the problem was this. It was the source over here.
I truly think that both Disney and Universal, if they wouldn't get insane amounts of like negative feedback, I think they both would get rid of annual passes altogether. Like daytime, HHN, whatever. They would get rid of them because the parks have gotten so busy, they don't need them. The whole point of annual passes, or not express passes, frequent fear passes, is so that on those nights that they're not selling out, they're like able to still get people in the park.
Yeah.
They don't need to do that, honestly. I think they would get, like I said, insane amounts of like, I don't know the word I'm trying to say, but negative feedback. And I think that's why they don't do it. But I think they would love to just get rid of them.
They like are foaming at the mouth for a decision like that, genuinely. Because when it comes to people that they see once in a life versus locals, or not even locals, just anybody who has an annual pass and goes all the time, when it comes to a person who goes all the time, they have to constantly do things to make fresh and make that pass holder happy. Give offerings, make those people feel like the money that they're spending and the constant going is worth it. Whereas if somebody who goes
spend less per trip.
It's another argument that I have. I wish I could pull up the numbers that I have at my other job at Disney, where we actually have numbers and show that locals spend as much money as people who come once in a life. So like, I would love to argue with anybody on that. It's great. I'd love to debate, not argue, but debate. But oh my gosh, there's another thing I wanted to mention.
I think we talked it to death.
No, there was another thing that you mentioned. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great point, but I forgot, so I'm not going to get into it. But again, it's just the way that they did it that bothers me, especially on an anniversary year. AA Thrill said, don't like it. Come from out of state, and this is the only time we get to go for 6 nights. Yeah, sorry, but you're going to pay. And again, it's one of those things where you, like, for instance, for you guys, AA Thrills who have done this, come for 6 nights. We get a lot of people who come from the UK and will get frequent fear pass with multi-night or with express pass because they're here for 2 weeks. Their holidays, that they come for. They're here for 2 weeks and they're going to go to HHN for 5, 6, 7 nights. We know people who do that and they come to the event, get that. Now they don't have the option to do that. And I don't, maybe they spend 1 night on express and stuff. But again, 1 night of express is not equivalent to a frequent fear pass with express. You need 2 nights of express to equivalent that. Usually it's like $400 that you add onto your frequent fear pass for the express options, like $400 per person. Express pass is usually like between $200, $300 a night. So like you still would need another night. Most people are not going to do that. They'd probably just say, all right, we'll get 1 night. It's less money that Universal's making. People like you and I, where we're like, okay, we're just not going to get express now. We'll just do standby. That's it.
We're not making.
You guys are like, Universal's losing out on $800 from us. So, Shanabelle, with good planning, I can hit all 10 houses, check out the scare zones, watch a show, get a snack or 2, many bathroom or water breaks. I love how you throw in there many bathroom and water breaks. Yes, it's important. Drink water, stay hydrated. With Stay and Scream and staying until close. But see, yes, that's if you're doing Stay and Scream to close, for sure.
People like us, we can't do that.
Yeah. Rollets Massey said, it changes the experience for people who get freaking Fear Pass with Express. It won't be the same for those people. Yep. Let's see. Joy Mayo, I'm just hoping it goes affect the standby lines. Goes, I think does. Last year I was there and at 2 a.m. lines were still like 45 to 60 minutes long. Years before I could do 5 houses the last hour. I think it just depends on the house. Terrifier in the last hour is not going to be a 5-minute walk on. One of the houses I'll bring up is like Goblin's Feast. Usually that's sprung tents in the back. They'll be like walk-ons sometimes. Just depends. Universal State of Mind said, if I was a local, I would probably feel different. I would also enjoy the Express, the full event. But as an out-of-state traveler, I don't have that loud of a voice. Last year, I did 1 night with Express. Mr. Disney King, I started HHN not using Frequent Fear with Express. In the past 2 years, I finally bought it. I'm ready to go back mentally without it. But those who always had it from the beginning, good luck. Yeah, we used to always joke around with that statement. Remember, we'd always say, once you go Express, like there's no going back. And now you're kind of forced to go back because you don't have that option. I know. Right?
That was like 2 years ago when we couldn't get.
Well, because they sold out.
They sold out.
Yeah. That was awful. Let's see. A Thrill said, I heard it's heavily rumored that they will be releasing something with fear passes that will help with their not being Express.
Like what?
That scares me.
A discount on single night Express? We're still not buying that.
Yeah, it scares me. I think what I get so afraid of is the companies. Here's one of the other things that I was not going to mention because of time, but I'm going to bring it up real quick. Something you and I talked about is the people who spend premium amounts of money. We'll just say premium amounts of money when they go to these events. They should not have more obstacles in enjoying their night. The more you spend when you go to the theme parks, not even just HHN, but the theme parks in general, the easier your experience should be in doing things. You shouldn't have to worry about all these things. It's something that I don't like with Disney's Lightning Lane system, the way they have all that. The people who are paying top dollar to be able to enjoy the most, they have to do the most work. You have to go on there and find the times, do all this. The people who are paying the less amount are the ones that seem to be having the less worry in how to do things. They just go and the wait is what the wait is. I feel like when it comes to HHN, these people who are paying premium for Express and all these options, multi-night passes with Express, RIP, all this, they should have the least amount to worry about when it goes to that. Granted, the people who pay the less amount should also have nothing to worry about. I'm not saying like those people who spend less should worry. They shouldn't. These experiences need to benefit the guests where people are enjoying their time. But if you are paying premium dollar, you shouldn't even have to think to enjoy the time. Everything should be smooth sailing for you. I hope they don't have these options that make these people who are spending premium have to then plan even more how their night goes. I think it'll ruin the event.
Yeah, maybe that like extra thing or whatever that's going to help frequent Fair Pass people is Single House Express or the Express Now.
We will not do
We're not doing that.
Again, because it's just the way it is. It's a way for the company to try to make more money. And it's like, could it benefit us for one house? Sure. But it's like, we know the motive behind it. And because that's like the motive they decided, they're not taking into account for our experience. Because of that, I'm out.
But also with...
Thank you, Sharks. I'm out.
Also with that, Mr. Disney King makes a good point. You spend like... I saw earlier, Tyler was saying like, they're not going to do $25 for every house. It's going to be like for the bigger houses like Hellraiser, it's going to be $70. And then for the lower houses, it'll be, $20 or whatever. But like, say you spend $70 to go through a house and then you miss all the scares. They're doing a cast change. What happens then?
Holy smokes, you just brought something up I have not thought about yet. But kind of what we mentioned
But we
is,
also don't know if they're doing that. The single...
Okay, but my point, though, is this even goes for just Express Pass. When it comes to a haunted house, the experience is vastly different than just an attraction, like a ride. They can kind of control the queue line in a ride. They can control how fast, because they can monitor how it's going. They know how fast they can load and unload on average. When it comes to a haunted house, you're just going based off of people's speed. And everybody's very different. So you can't really monitor that. That's why they have house operators. They have, right? House operators? What's the name for that? Attendant. Thank you. House attendants in the house that will help try to speed up the line. If they notice it's taking a while, there's a gap. They try to help bring people in because they're noticing, like this is causing the line to slow down, which is causing the wait time to increase. But I didn't even think about where there are times we have used our Express Pass for a house for a night. You only get one use with that Express Pass for that attraction. We've missed majority of scares. It just happens. It's the way of the luck. It's just tough luck. It happens at HHN, unfortunately. There's a conversation for that to be had, but that's very different. Very different. So, but yeah, I totally forgot about that. Crappy Tappy said, we normally get Freaking Fear with Express. Ended up going for both premium Scream nights instead for around the same price. Also doing opening night, we usually do 10 plus nights with a sad face. And see, like Crappy Tappy seems like you're going the route of like, they want to keep a premium experience. However, you're getting less nights out of it. And it does suck, First of all, excited for you to do the second premium Scream night. I hope that is a success. And opening night, but yeah, they usually do 10 plus nights and now they're only getting 3 nights. It's and they're spending the same amount. So again, I could sit here and argue that the people who say those who visit 1 or 2 nights spend more money than the locals do. I don't think that's correct. I think the locals who go 10 plus nights have a higher chance at spending more than somebody who's coming for 1 or 2 nights. Rollins Massey said, if there's this much demand and they are going to charge more for each express, then they should have more money. Would they add more houses for HHN in coming years? I hope. That would be nice. Again, if they could just come out and announce that, that'd be nice. So yeah. Also, my chat is, or my screen is, there we go. Okay. Well, not really. It's like working. Oh, it's not. Oh my gosh. I don't know what just happened. I know, but I don't know what that was. I've never seen that before. There you go. Maybe. Okay, cool. So anyways, this will be something that I think will be continuously discussed for probably up until the event begins and well after the event continues. It's definitely something Steph and I will discuss. And I'm going to say this, like I'm disappointed. I don't know why I can't say that right. I'm disappointed. Oh my gosh,
It
disappointed.
sounds fine.
Really? I'm disappointed in the way I can't say disappointed, first of all.
There you go.
But mainly in the way that Universal did this. To me, it doesn't seem honorable to like longtime fans, hardcore fans, locals of the event, even out of state, people who do frequent Free Pass with Express. It is kind of a slap in the face to them. So I feel for those people. I do think the way that the company handled it, just not the best. So that's why I'm, upset with the fact. However, it's one of those things where, like, although like I'm upset, it is what it is. The company decided to do this. They could pull back. Who knows? They could pull back. I don't know. But it seems like this is the route that they're going to go for this year. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens at the event. If this benefits the event and the standby waits and stuff are shorter and all that, hey, awesome. Then that's good. All I can do is applaud because, hey, it worked. But if it doesn't, then I feel like we can all look at this and say this was just a move for money. Now, it's a business. They got to make money. I totally understand. But I feel like there are other ways of making money. And I saw somebody mention, and we talked about this too, what if they take away frequent Free Passes altogether? They're going to have to raise single night prices. They're going to have to raise all the add-on prices. They're going to have to do all these other increases and stuff just to equivalent for that. So I'm worried, like, there's paths that are set for things like that. I hope that the event never gets to. I don't want the event to be too complicated when it comes to options and things of that nature. But again, we don't know what the results are going to be. We're going to wait and see. All of this comes from a post on X. It was a response Universal did to somebody's post on X. So again, not like a big headliner move that the company has announced. It's just something people picked up, were running with. And it seems like right now Universal hasn't made a statement against that. So it seems like that's probably what is going to stand. We can hope that maybe that's not the case. I'm hoping that this decision does benefit the fans overall. I don't think it will, unfortunately. I think the event is just too busy as it stands. And that's just how it's going to go, unfortunately. I think the event it's just too busy. They need to change the way they do merge in the first place because Express still exists. And they also need to go ahead and, add some more offerings to eat at the crowd.
Yeah, watch them say, "Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. That was not correct."
And they could. Who knows?
And then everybody will be fighting again.
Yeah, actually,
Still.
yeah, because the roles are going to reverse. That's going to happen. All I'm going to say is, like, just going online and seeing the people who are celebrating this and, like, saying things against people who get this is, like, to me, that's just wrong. And again, like, we can't make the argument that this is actually going to lower standby line because Express Pass still exists. The Express line still exists. And I can guarantee you this. There are going to be people at the end of Horror Nights and even throughout this season who are going to say, the standby lines were much shorter. This was such a great decision by Universal. Thank you. And you're going to have the other side say, the standby lines still freaking sucked and nobody could get Express Pass. No, thank you, Universal. Like,
Also,
you're still going to have people say that because can you actually trust people's experience when you weren't there experiencing it with them?
Also, they're changing too many things. They're doing the 2 p.m. and this whole Express thing. Anybody who has ever, like, run an A/B test knows that you don't change multiple variables at once and then see the outcome because you don't know what's causing.
Yeah, you don't know what's
the
causing
change.
exactly what. Yeah.
I don't think the 2 p.m. is really going to make a huge difference in the standby lines at night, but it could. And then we have Express going away and everybody's like, oh, it's because Express is gone, but it's actually not. It's because it's 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
a thought, but it
One of the
doesn't
things
really
that
matter.
Steph and I love talking about is not like, oh, what house is coming to Horror Nights? It's not that. We love talking about the logistics and layout of the event way more. We think it's more interesting because there's much more to conversate about when it comes to that. And to your point, Steph, too, I look at it. People could make the argument, well, the 2 p.m. houses might help alleviate that. And it's like potentially, but not every house is open at 2 p.m. How many houses are open at 2 p.m.? Like 3?
I don't know. Yeah, 3.
Right? And they said up to. So sometimes it may not even be all 3. So That's not all the houses. You're still going to have
I don't know.
crowds will go the way crowds want to go. So I
We will
don't know.
not be doing houses at 2 p.m. I can tell you that.
I don't even think we'll be there past 9 p.m.
No, 2 p.m., not 2 a.m.
Oh, yes. That's true. What about you? Are you doing any? Good stretch.
He said, I'm doing the going to bed, getting into it,
Also-
going to bed thing.
Joey said, love how Hollywood never gets changes. Yeah, that includes your houses too. Supposedly you get the same ones too.
Oof, that was rough.
Maybe those two mean Hollywood's event is very different. It's not like Orlando. Orlando and Hollywood, two complete different events. So I can't give them shade for that because I get it. I understand. Orlando's a much bigger budget. They have much more things to work with compared to Hollywood. Anyways, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a not so rapid fire Q&A. So if you got questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Steph and I will pick a couple of questions and answer them. We'll try to be rapid, but probably not. I don't know. We'll try to though, because that's all we have to talk about today, right? Is there anything else?
No.
I don't know. What's up? Why did you look at me like that?
I didn't know we were going to do a rapid fire.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it. It'll be quick. We'll just do a few questions. I just want to see what people want to ask.
Should
relation to
Universal bring back frequent fear with Express?
We can do
Yes.
this one quick. Yes. Absolutely.
What do we think Premium Scream Night limit is going to be this year?
I don't know because
No idea.
we didn't know what it was 2 years ago, and we didn't know what it was last year. All we know was 2 years ago was pretty low. I don't think it's because the way they limited it. I just don't think a lot of people bought it. And I think last year people heard how good the year was before, so a lot of people bought it, but Universal didn't really limit it, and it was not very well received.
They said 7,500 last year.
That's what they say, but again, I want to see numbers. I want to see a factual spreadsheet. I want to see analytics at
Those
times.
are their numbers.
don't like
Stranger Things Lagoon Show, yay or nay?
Yay.
As of right now, yay.
Yeah.
Will there be a photo op at Cabana Bay ever again? Doesn't seem like it.
Again, there's something that they added to the event that they have taken away. Benefit that you've lost. Sorry. Do you think that the decision could be because of positive wait time change for Hagrid's standby line? I don't think that's the case. Because again,
I
Hagrid's...
think that's fake news.
Yeah. Mama Robinson
I think
over
they
there.
jacked the standby line to get people to buy Express.
They do. And again, somebody who's worked at attractions at the parks, they lie sometimes. They run numbers and they try to get people to buy. And they know, especially at Disney, they know at what hours people are more willing to spend more money on a single lightning lane to just skip. They know those times, so they know when to increase the wait times. On top of that, too, I will say this. The Hagrid's decision, again, remember, Hagrid's took away all of Express Pass. There is no Express Pass lane. It's just standby. Halloween Horror Nights did not take away the Express Pass line. They just took away the option to have Express Pass with your frequent fear pass. So I don't think the Hagrid's decision and the way they did it is influencing this at all. So I don't know why people are making the argument that this is positive and they're saying, look at Hagrid's as a result. Because it's like, but that's apples and oranges. You're trying to compare two different things.
Rapid fire.
What is that? Never heard of it.
Anything specific we're hoping to see for the last two IP houses? The rumored ones, I'm happy with both of those. So
Yeah, I don't even know what the rumors are.
I'm fine with those.
Should Universal give a frequent fear pass night only? Would be cool. I don't think they would ever do it. I think the way this is done is through premium Scream Night. I think that's the way it's done.
You have to pay more.
Yeah, a frequent fear pass night would be awesome. So should Universal? Yeah, that'd be cool. Would they? I doubt it. Because they can't really track how many people would actually attend.
What do you think they will do with Killer Clowns? We did kind of talk about this in the beginning of the video, so if you didn't watch it, there's a longer discussion on that, but roaming something.
Yeah, if anything, a photo op or roaming characters. I will say, if you guys are just joining us, I know we're at 2 hours and 53 minutes in this live, so coming close to 3 hours. I'm so sorry. Coming close to 3 hours. We did have our question of the day to start off the chat in the live stream, and then we talked about the Stranger Things. What was it called? Return the Hawkins? right? Stranger Things returned to Hawkins. Lagoon Show, we talked about that. Then we talked about the Killer Clowns, and then basically 90% of the live stream has been about the Express Pass thing. So if you're just joining us now, if you want to go back and look at all that, we did talk about that recently. Well, recently, like 3 hours ago. D Diggle said, does anyone want to get drinks at Premium Scream Night? That sounds so fun, though. Let's see. JC Smith said, favorite HHN song. That's tough because I really usually lean towards the 2019 soundtrack, like the loop during the event. And oh my gosh, the Nightcrawler, I think, is it Nightcrawler or no, Street Cleaner. Street Cleaner does a couple songs in there that's really cool. So if you look up Street Cleaner, they have some cool stuff. Like Metropolis is cool. So there are songs that are like at the event that I liked from 2019. We'll say that. Let's see.
Did we talk about the truss in front of the tribute store? The old tribute
store
store
no,
location?
we didn't. Do you want to mention anything about it?
Cool. I don't know what else to say. I do hope it goes back to that location. I liked it better there.
Yeah. Also, I know you commented to Michael. Yeah, I agree. Let's be respectful. But I will say this. Locals are selfish and don't have consideration for people coming out of the state with limited time at the event. You can also make the argument that out-of-state people might be selfish and not consider what locals have to go through living here and have access. I think the argument goes both ways. Everyone's experience is very different. That's how it goes. So
I just don't think it's fair to lump every local into are selfish and don't have consideration for other people. I don't think that's the case.
And I think the same goes too for locals who would snap back at anyone who's coming out of state and make that comment too, where it's like, it's you can't lump thousands of people into the thing. Everyone's got a different thing, which is why, like earlier we said, you know, when it comes to the Express Pass option for people who are like trying to bring like evidence of why this is good or bad, none of us actually have like physical factual evidence. Only Universal holds that. So we don't know. The only thing we do know is that we're going to find out when HHN kicks off this year. We're going to see if it works out or not. So we'll see. What else? Something about this year seems like it's creeping towards a full park, no safe zone event, especially with the lanyard from last year. Besides it being a money grab, how do you feel of a no safe year? I'm fine with that. I personally, like, I'm the type of person that, like, we've gone to HHN so many times that I'm desensitized at this point, where I don't think like HHN is scary. You know what I'm saying, stuff? I don't think it's scary. I think it's gotten less scary, if anything. So like having the whole park being involved in the atmosphere and the event, I think is a positive. So like I'm cool with that. I think it's fine. You know?
Yeah. I think this is a good question that we haven't ever talked about, I don't think. Do you think people in Orlando should be able to film in the houses without flash and post after the event ends if not invited to media night? No. I don't like that they do that in Hollywood.
There's passion behind that. No, yeah.
I do not like that they do that in Hollywood. When we were going through the houses, like having a bright phone screen in your face takes, even if they're not using flash, the actual screen of the phone is bright and it really takes away from being in the house. I did not like that.
Can I say something?
No. Okay. I don't know why you always ask.
I just wanted your permission. I'm sorry. My personal take is I wish, and this is just society in general. We see this at theme parks all the time. I wish people enjoyed the experience more without needing to record it on their phone. It's so funny because like Hollywood, they get to go into the house and record, and like it's kind of cool because you get to look back at it. You get to have that. That's great. People who do content, like that's awesome because then you can use that for content. In Orlando, we don't do that except for like media night. We've done media night before, and all I can say is when we have gone through the houses during media night and filmed the houses, I don't remember anything from the house. I'm just focused on recording.
Yeah.
I wish like society as a whole would agree that when we go to theme parks, we go to these experiences, we go to shows, we don't film. We don't take our camera out. Maybe we could take a photo, but that at most that's it. I would love for people to be in the moment more than on a screen. Like recently we watched Sensational, and it was like 90% of the people, and okay, of course people traveling out, people want to show, I get it. I'm not going to argue against it, but they're just all behind their phone and they're just like doing this. And I'm like, are you fully experiencing what's happening besides being behind a screen?
My issue is like, I don't care if you're not in the moment. If you just want to look at it from a screen, I don't care. That's your choice. But my problem was when we went to Hollywood, there were several times where people would stop just to get the full scare. Just stop and stand there and record to get the full scare. And like, it ruined our experience in some of the houses because we were getting stuck behind those people, and then we wouldn't get to see the scare, or we had like the phone. There were several times where the flash did go off too for people. So I'm sure it's not fun for the scare actors when that happens as well. Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm not a fan of it.
I get that's cool, whatever. I don't like it.
Yeah, Mr. Disney King said, imagine next week Orlando responds to a comment and starts saying this year, we can film in the houses at Orlando. I'd be like,
goodbye, HHN. No, I'm kidding.
I'd be like, oh man, like something happened with CERN. Something went off or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I just, again, I could see it from both ends. As a content creator, I could see it benefiting, you know, hey, more content, cool. As somebody who is not a content creator, it's like, I don't think that would be a positive, you know? I don't know. Also, JHMD said, idea they should have a meet and greet with characters. Visitors will wait in line for pics. Could be a crowd eater. They do have something similar to that when it comes to like the HHN bar.
Even like the grabber, they have like a little
they have like photo opportunities, but it's never really just like a meet and greet type of scenario. I don't know how I feel about a meet and greet at HHN, but that's just because we're not meet and greet type of people. I'm sure people who love meeting characters and stuff may actually love that. I just don't know how that would look. You know, again, just bringing this up, you know, Halloween Horror Nights, they have an experience where they don't do like meet and greets where you have to wait in line to meet this character, get a picture and all that. They just have their street experiences. They have scare zones. They have roaming characters, some of them that you can actually engage with. Back in the day, one of the cool things that Universal used to do, and I haven't seen in a bit, was scare actor dining. And you would pay a price to go and have a meal and stuff, but you can interact with different characters from the event.
Get photos with them if you want.
And get photos and have those moments and all that stuff. So they have a lot of different ways to meet the characters, and they've kind of gone away from some and added some here and there. But I don't know how I feel about just a full meet and greet. So I don't know. All right, ladies and gents, we officially passed 3 hours in the live stream. I remember making a joke to Stephanie saying we're going to break the record tonight. Tonight's live stream going over 3 hours and 40 minutes. And I'm actually very scared to see that we're like 40 minutes away from that. Because I didn't mean for this to go this long. But again, it was just so much to say, so much to talk about. And there's still multiple things that we haven't even been able to get into, but we're not going to get into it tonight. Maybe another live stream, or we'll wait. Who knows? Maybe Universal wakes up tomorrow and they're like, oh, by the way, guys, yeah, no, that tweet was not correct. April Fools. No, we're still doing it. Or they're like, actually,
said anything additional to that? Like where they're like, yes, this is true.
I haven't seen anybody post anything.
Tweet?
It was just that one, which makes me think, hey, they could go back on it, or maybe that's how it is. So we'll see. Do you want to go get your brother and tell him to come over here too?
Hundo.
Was that Nico that just spoke? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about Stranger Things, the Lagoon Show. We spoke about Killer Clowns. We spoke about the Express Pass thing. But now the boys have something to say. Nico, hold up, dog. Hold up. You don't have to get all over. Sit. Come here. Sit. Okay, look at me. Hey, hello. Excuse you, sir. Speak. Tell him how you feel. Say it. Hondo, speak.
No,
He
he's
just
done.
left. All right, see ya, sucker.
All right.
Anyways, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us in tonight's live. I just want to make this announcement too. Nico, come here. Sit. What are you doing? What was that? Sit. Just stay. Hold up. Just want to make a quick announcement. We are going to be out of town starting Saturday. So unfortunately, no live stream next week, no video, nothing like that, because we're going to be completely out of town from this Saturday until next Monday. We won't be back in town. So the next live stream will be not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. We'll probably do a live stream that Tuesday. I'm sure we're going to get announcements tomorrow. We may even get some more announcements this coming week while we're out of town, because we have the Baby Robinson baby shower coming up that we're going to go do. And so we're going to go visit and see some family and all that. But we'll keep you guys posted. So stay tuned. Look out on either YouTube if we post there, or on Instagram. I'll post on the story whatever updates on when we decide to do our next live stream. But it'll probably be that Tuesday, I think the 28th or the 29th. I don't know what the date is, but it's not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday will be our next live stream potentially. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that's going to do it for us tonight. And until the next video, we look forward to seeing you guys there. And like always, we'll catch you guys in the fog, in the standby line fog. See ya, suckers. Say it.
Bye.
Bye.